Live from the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, it's the Miami Dolphins versus the Detroit Lions. Brought to you in part by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, brewers of Michelob. Put a little weekend in your week. And by Gulf Oil, who suggests you try Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. It helps eliminate engine knocks and pings. And by Toyota. Toyota invites you to test drive the 1981 front-wheel drive Tercel and get the feeling at your local Toyota dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Tonight, Game 3 of the Miami Dolphins' 4-game preseason schedule. The Detroit Lions against the Miami Dolphins tonight. And with us again, Kurt Gowdy, Tim Foley, Larry Sugarman. Kurt will be bringing you the play-by-play tonight. And Kurt, this Detroit Lions club coming in here 1-1, but they should provide probably the stiffest opposition to date for the Miami Dolphins.
Chuck, they were the most improved team in the National Football League last year, going 9-7. They really came out of the gate. They won their first 5 in a row, finished runner-up in their division. They have maybe as good as front four. That's what to look for tonight. Their defensive front four with smart linebacking. Watch number 60, Al Baker, the right end. He's led the NFL in quarterback sacks the last 2 years. They've been having some trouble with their offense in preseason, but as long as you have Billy Sims on the field, number 20, you Orange Bowl fans saw him for 2 years when he played there with Oklahoma, and he's probably one of the 2 or 3 best ball carriers now in the NFL. Offense may be their problem. Certainly not defense. And we'll see how the Dolphins do against the Detroit defense tonight.
Well, certainly that'll be one of the keen tests tonight. And the Dolphins, on the other hand, Tim Foley, they're looking to show themselves tonight for sure against a really stern test, something they feel like maybe they haven't had to date.
Right. This will be the Dolphins' stiffest test to date. Detroit last year was #1 against the rush, preventing the other team from running the ball. The other thing that's going to be a problem for him is Bubba Baker, as Kurt alluded to. He makes a habit out of dancing with the opposition's quarterback during the game. And if the Dolphin offensive line can give Woodley time and Strock time, the receivers are going to be able to get open against this Detroit secondary. Now, defensively, the assignment is simple to understand, not so simple to carry out. Contain Billy Sims. Because if the Detroit offense cannot survive if they're forced to throw the ball.
So it's simple, just that simple tonight.
Yeah.
Containing Billy Sims has never been that easy in the past. Down on the sideline, as usual, Larry Sugarman with us. Larry, at least we got you into a place where you won't have to worry about mosquitoes and rain.
Chuck, 2 weeks ago in Minnesota, it was mosquitoes. Last week in the Orange Bowl, it was rain. I think I love this place. No problems unless the lights go out. But there will be a problem the Dolphins will have to face, and that is this artificial turf. It is very hard. This is the first of 7 games they will have to play on this stuff. And I guess you might say that we'll be talking about that and also about other things along here on the sideline. Back up to you, Chuck.
Larry, thanks a lot. We'll be looking forward to your reports throughout the contest. Stay with us tonight. Going to be great football. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this.
Hey, this cream puff you sold me knocks and pings.
Pinging? I don't hear any pinging. Do you hear any pinging?
That's not pinging. That's tiring.
If your car knocks and pings, try Gulf Super Unleaded, one of the highest octane unleaded gasolines to help stop knocking and pinging.
This is a sensitive machine you bought. Maybe it's the gas you're using.
Get Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, downbeat style. Whether it's jazz, classical, country, or rock, music and Michelob is always the perfect arrangement. Because that smooth and mellow taste helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Have a good game. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Chuck Dowdle, Kurt Gowdy, Tim Foley, Larry Sugarman. The Miami Dolphins have just won the toss, and contrary to popular belief, Tim, Bob Kuchenberg did not elect to take the wind in here. He's going to receive the football. But we'd like to welcome to the microphone once again the Dean of America's Sportscasters here with a play-by-play for you this evening, Kurt Gowdy.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Both squads huddling. Miami breaking out with their kick-receiving team. And the Lions, Eddie Murray, number 3, will be kicking off. He was a surprise rookie last year, led the National Football Conference in scoring. You'll remember the 4 field goals he kicked in the Pro Bowl game. He was voted the most valuable player of that game. We'll wait for the Dolphins to spread out. These teams in preseason, the Dolphins have dominated. This is their 6th meeting. Previous 5, Miami's won 4, the Lions won. Fulton Walker, the rookie's back on the 2-yard line. And he's been getting heavy duty as a kick returner. Fulton Walker for West Virginia. Oh, here we go. The Lions and the Dolphins from the Silverdome. And the boot is angling to the right. Walker drifts over and fields it on the 10. Comes to the 20. Runs into the blue-shirted Lion players and is stopped on the 23-yard line. Maybe the 24, where the Dolphins have a first down. And the tackle is by Cobb, the reserve linebacker, Gary Cobb of USC. A 13-yard return. Woodley at quarterback. Tony Nathan, number 22. Andre Franklin, number 37 at the back. Duriel Harris, Matt Moore, the receiver. The tight end is Ronnie Lee. There is the offensive line. 24-yard line of the Dolphins with a first down. Franklin and Nathan are set behind David Woodley. Woodley will see a lot of action tonight. They want to get him ready for the season's opener at St. Louis. Handoff is to Nathan. Nathan coming to the 25 and is filled there at the 29-yard line. Tony Nathan is cut down by Jimmy Allen, the free safety.
With the ball.
A 5-yard gain on the first running play. Second down, 5. There's that front 4 we're talking about. Let me just put these in here, Tim. Purefoy left in.
At the Miami 29.
Ehrman starting at left tackle, English at right tackle, Baker at right end. Those are the linebackers and the secondary. But that front 4 is a terror. Although Curtis Green, a surprising rookie, looks like he's going to win the regular left tackle job, is not playing right now. 2nd and 5 for the Dolphins from their 29. And that's Andre Franklin. They're really giving him a good look. Andre Franklin of Nebraska. Hit by Doug English and Charlie Weaver, the left linebacker.
Kurt, they're giving Andre Franklin the good look tonight because Woody Bennett is out with a sprained ankle. This is starting to concern Don Shula. He brought in Woody Bennett last year. The guy performed well for them. Then comes up against Baltimore. He gets hurt late in the season. Has to sit out the final game against the Jets. They bring him in the start of the preseason. He comes in, looks very good. He comes up with an injury against Minnesota, misses practice the next week. Then last week against Denver, comes up with another injury. He's out of the game tonight. You can't coach a guy when he's in the whirlpool.
Duriel Harris, number 82's in. Matt Moore's out. Jimmy Cephalo's flanked to the left. Harris to the right on the Miami 32. Nathan runs for it, and he appears to have it as he crosses the 35, goes to the 36-yard line. First down for the Dolphins. Dave Purefoy, the left end from Eastern Michigan, made the stop.
One thing that you're going to see a lot of, the Dolphins are in a left formation here because they want to try to get as much help as they can on Bubba Baker. They're going to run the ball a little bit on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 because they feel like they can make some progress based on Detroit's defensive alignment.
Bruce Vardy has come in at tight end. Nat Moore's in the game. Duriel Harris is out. First down the Dolphins on their 36, no score. Early in the first period, out of the I formation. That's Franklin. Franklin is hit hard at the 37-yard line. Doug English, quite a story on him. English, number 78, set out last year to go into the oil business. No contract squabble. He just said he wanted to go into private business. He's supposed to make a lot of money in the oil business, and has returned to football, where he makes a lot of money.
Now he's just playing football as a hobby. I'm going to go drill a few oil wells. Why didn't I think of that?
You should have. Why don't we all think of it? Second down, 8. Dolphins on their 38-yard line. Woodley for his first pass. And they get him. Joe Ehrman, the veteran of Syracuse in his 8th year, got to him. Remember him with that sack pack with the Baltimore Colts.
You're going to see some of this rolling out to the right. They're rolling away from Bubba Baker. They're trying to buy some time, and I think David started to hear that fella coming and just
3rd and 15.
Wrapped him up.
32.
There's Bubba, number 60. Led the NFL in getting to the quarterback the last 2 years in a row, and Joe Giesler contains him. 3rd and 15. Matt Moore's in. Duriel Harris is there. And Cephalo, they have the 3 wide receiver offense on the field. And the Dolphin 32. Woodling will try and get somebody down. He fires. He has a man open. He got down beyond that yardstick. And that's Duriel Harris. And he has a first down.
Tim, now if you're a defensive back, here's what you hate to see that receiver do, right? He comes back for the ball so nicely. And here, Duriel Harris, you couldn't ask for a better example of this.
They're in a man coverage here. David throws it on a rope out there. Duriel makes a good break on the ball. Nice catch. The ball thrown low and outside, right where it should be. First down.
And when he went down the field, he was taking a look at that first down marker, and he got a step behind, or beyond it, until he did his turn back. Otherwise, the Dolphins would probably have had to punt if they're a yard or two short. So 2 first downs in a row for the Dolphins. They're on their 46-yard line. We're in a scoreless game in the first period. 10:35 to go. That's Tony Nathan. And Nathan is dragged down by Joe Ehrman of Syracuse. Ehrman playing tonight because Curtis Green has been a sensational rookie in camp from Alabama State, a number 2 draft pick, and they say he's going to become a starter. But he has a bad hand tonight. So Ehrman is being given a look. And there's another veteran behind Curtis Green. Remember him, Curly Culp. He's been all over the league.
One thing that the fans want to watch for the 3 defensive linemen usually stacked to the weak side of the formation.
Second down, 7. Dolphins ball on their own 49. Here's a screen coming up to Franklin. Frank 45 at the 50, 45, 44-yard line of the Detroit Lions. Alvin Hall, a free safety, made the hit on him. But the Dolphins keep moving. Their 3rd first down in succession.
All right, Tim, here's what Andre Franklin's not supposed to be able to do, and that's catch the football.
He does a nice job catching it here. A screen pass is almost like a run on first down. Not much risk. Just drift it out there. Mark Denner does a nice job. Eddie Newman cleans up on Charlie Weaver, and Franklin takes it down the field.
We have a first down Miami on the Detroit 44-yard line. The Dolphins started this drive on their own 24. And like they did last week, they are using the clock a lot. They had 2 drives of 9 minutes last week. There goes Nathan in motion. Franklin has the handoff, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage by Ken Fantetti, the middle linebacker from Wyoming. A real hitter and a mover. James Hunter was assisting some, but it was Fantetti who reached the ball carrier first. No gain. Second down, 10. Dolphins on the Lion 44.
This will be an interesting call now. 4th down. They've got a little less than a yard to go, Tim, and I guess from the position in the field, why not, right?
That's right. The way the defense has been playing, you got to turn it upfield. They hate to try to bounce it out in those short yardage situations. Ray Oldham did a nice job of closing that hole for the Lions. Now here we go.
4th down and 1. 3 tight ends in the game. They're going for it. Let's see who they give it to. Quarterback sneak. Close. Flag down on the play. David Woodley trying to wedge behind the middle 3 of that offensive line. They dropped the flag.
And Smith put a flag on the play.
And the Lion players are signaling to their bench that the penalty is against Miami. Offside against the Dolphins. Now let's see what they do on that measurement. And they're going to bring the yardsticks on.
Well, while they trot in with them, let me remind you that next Friday night, be sure to join us here on TV 10 when the Dolphins take on the Kansas City Chiefs at the Orange Bowl. We'll have exclusive same-day coverage of that game on Friday night at 11:30, right after Newswatch, here on South Florida Sports Station.
I tell you, when you look at the sidelines, this looks like an inter-squad scrimmage. The Detroit Lions have 5 coaches that were one time with the Dolphins. You got Don Dowell down there, Monty Clark, of course, Floyd Peters, Bob Snelker, and Larry Seifel, who probably made the biggest play in our first drive to the Super Bowl when he ran on 4th down against Pittsburgh.
7 minutes the Dolphins have the ball. They fail to make the first down. The Lions decline the penalty. And we'll take a look at Detroit now for the first time on offense when they take over on their own 44-yard line. We'll be back in the Silverdome with more action, and there's no score.
If you've got better things to do than mow your lawn, get yourself a Snapper V-Series mower. Snapper's outstanding design features and big center-mounted grass catcher help you finish faster. so you can get on to more enjoyable pastimes.
When you gotta cut your grass and you want to do it fast, Snapper sets you free to be where you want to be.
Anywhere you cut it, it's a snap with Snapper.
If you want to do something different, we suggest a place with delightful cuisine, charming atmosphere, pleasant company, and the wildest floor show you ever saw. The only thing that'll race faster is your heart.
There's our score. We have 8:05 to play in the first period. Gary Danielson will be the quarterback, number 16. Billy Sims, number 20. Bo Robinson, number 36, the running back. A rookie, Tracy Porter, 89, and a veteran, Leonard Thompson, 39, are the wide receivers. David Hill is the tight end, number 81. Fumble on the handoff. Flags go down. Just got a mess up. The ball never really left the ground.
That's one of those, come on, fellas, let's go, I'm ready.
Well, Dietrich was wide open if they could have gotten it to him. He had a good jump on the entire Dolphin defense.
False start, number 72, offense.
Well, Gary is out of Purdue, so if
that explains a lot.
right, yeah, if I start singing Hail Purdue sometime during the telecast, don't let it bother you.
So, a legal procedure. Lions on their 39, first and 15. Billy Sims at the 40. 45 and barrels his way to the 49. Now, when you watch Billy Sims tonight, notice one thing. He's always leaning toward the other goal line. He runs forward leaning over, and he always picks up 2 or 3 yards after he's hit. There's Miami's front three. Betters, Baumauer, and Bocamper. Brzezinski, Ernie Rowan, A.J. Dewey, Larry Gordon, the linebackers, McNeil, and Small, the corners. Blackwood and Besselo are the safety men. 10-yard gain for Billy Sims, second down. 5 to go. Lions on their 49. That's Bo Robinson. And he's being hemmed in. He gets to the 50 and nudges over into Miami territory. A.J. Dewey got to him first. Dewey's been looking good there in that inside linebacking spot, Tim.
He's been doing a great job. He has made so much progress in the last year, and people don't realize what a difficult adjustment it is to go from a down lineman to standing up at a linebacker. Your vision is so much different. Bob Brzezinski did a nice job on that play, too, stringing it out. He's been a tremendous addition to the Miami Dolphin defense.
3rd down and 3. Lions on the 49-yard line of the Dolphins. No score, 6:48 to go in the first period. Gary Danielson hit 58% of his passes last year, 13 touchdowns. And that's Kim Bocamper, number 58, crossing over. Somebody might have moved, but I don't think so. Kim Bocamper, the defensive right end of the Dolphins. Danielson, the year before, set out with a knee injury the entire season and made his comeback.
Sometimes a defensive lineman can look pretty silly because there are things that everybody can't see but him. The offensive tackle might have moved his hand just a little bit as if he was going to start to step back. But that time, I guess Bo thought it was on 2 instead of 3.
Well, that gives the Detroit Lions a first down on the Dolphins' 44. Tracy Porter, the rookie's back in. Lions have had a lot of trouble with their wide receivers because of injuries. Danielson from Purdue, his 5th year.
Steve, if you can hear me, I do want to talk.
There goes Tracy Porter, the rookie. The pitch is to Billy Sims, and Sims is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A great play by Bob Brzezinski, who came knifing across from his left linebacking spot to hit him and throw him for a loss to the 47 of Miami. 2nd down, 13 coming for the Lions.
Well, that certainly is the way to do it. Get them before they get going, before he gets cranked up. Brzezinski came across the line in great position, took on a blocker, and took Sims off his feet.
You better get him before he gets going.
For sure.
2nd down, 13. Danielson setting up. Out of the pocket to David Hill, the tight end. Complete. At the 40-yard line, Ernie Rowan tackling the veteran tight end Hill, who had 39 catches last year. We now have a 3rd and 5 for the Lions. They're on the Miami 39.
Now, the decision here is, do you go nickel, do you rush 4 people, do you play zone, you play man-to-man? If you were calling, what would you do?
Tracy Porter replaces John Arnold. I think they're sending wide receivers in with the plays. 3rd and 5. Danielson will throw for it. Runs out of the pocket. He's going to have a first down. He's at the 30. And he tried to reverse and went backwards, but he still made the first down. Brzezinski nailed him at the 31 of Miami.
Well, the Dolphins had the good containment on the outside that time, and he escaped up the middle, but still, A.J. almost had him.
That's for sure. If you called man-to-man, you were right. The Dolphins were in a man-to-man coverage. Good coverage here. Everybody, no place to go. And right up the middle goes Gary. Eludes one tackler, and the secondary support is always slow to come when you're in a man-to-man coverage.
That was number 77 that missed him, A.J. Dewey. John Arnold, a 3rd-year player from Wyoming, brings in a signal now for Gary Danielson. That's him in motion. Fake to Sims. Danielson fires, and that's broken up. A neat play by Gerald Small, the cornerback, intended for John Arnold, and Jerry Small was all over him.
Good job by Gerald Small. I'll tell you something, though, that the primary receiver on that particular pass pattern was the tight end. He happened to fall down, but he would have been open behind Gerald if he hadn't have fallen down. So they better watch out for that play, because they're for sure, they got some coaches up here watching the same thing we're watching, right?
Right. 2nd down. 10 to go. Lions ball on the Miami 31. We have no score. 4:23 remaining in the first period. Out they spread. Porter to the left. Leonard Thompson to the right. That's Billy Sims. Look at that quick explosion. The 25. He was hit on the 24. He went forward 2 more yards. Don Bezalou, the safety man, got him. Remember, Sims in his debut last year at Los Angeles went for 153 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's a hard act to follow. All he's looking for is a crack. Left guard for Detroit does a nice job. Dewey slows him down a little bit, but not quite enough. That young man is fast, but he's also powerful.
And in his 2nd game as a rookie, he ran for 134 yards against the Packers and 2 more touchdowns, and that ignited the Lions, who won their first 5 in a row. Then they tailed off. It's now a 3rd down and a yard to go. And there's a first down. Bo Robinson carrying the ball from West Texas State. He was hit by Ernie Roan and Don Bezalou. So the Lions now have the deepest penetration of the game. They're on the Miami 19-yard line. This drive started on the 39-yard line of Detroit. Now, both teams have moved the ball. Running out of that eye, now they go into a standard pro set. No, the flag's down. I think the left wide, that's Billy Sims. They wrestled him at the 15. It looked like the left wide receiver moved for the Detroit Lions. He jumped, he tried to get back, but perhaps it was too late. And that would be a motion penalty or a legal procedure. Let's go down to Larry Sugarman.
Kurt, when the Miami Dolphins come back on offense, they're going to have to contend with not only the Lions' defense, but this crowd as well. With the covered stadium, the sound has got nowhere to go but to reverberate back off the top of this roof. It is mighty noisy down here, so we may see some more offsides during the evening.
All right, Larry, thank you. That was Leonard Thompson who jumped. He went offside, couldn't get back. Lions are penalized 5 yards. They had the ball in the Miami 24. First down and 15. A scoreless game. They jump again. David Hill moves.
They're getting that play down, Kurt. I think they got it.
Well, this is what summer camp's about. This is what preseason football's about, to get the timing down, to get the smoothness that you're going to need to win in the and not make mistakes and to win in the NFL.
Right, but they should have covered staying on sides in the first couple of days, I think. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe he thought it was a quick count start. I'm not sure. This is the break the Dolphins needed, though. Now it's 1st and 20.
And 2 veterans have moved offside. Leonard Thompson on the previous snap, and David Hill, the tight end on this last one. Now they have a 1st and 20 from the Miami 29-yard line. And that's Bo Camper Flag is down. They're chasing Danielson, who's eluding people. Throws on the run, and it is incomplete. Could have been caught by Glenn Blackwood, but he couldn't hold on to it. It appeared that Kim Bocamper, for the second time in the game, jumped offside.
Tim, I think once again, though, what you were talking about, the defensive lineman, I think he saw something because he jumped like he intended to touch somebody, not like he was, well, they caught him again.
Yeah. Hey, Shuggy, why don't you go out there in the field and ask those guys what's going on, will you please? I've never seen this many offsides in the first quarter, and I've been around a long time.
Offside defense, number 58.
That's Bocamper offside. That's our third offside penalty in a row in the last 3 snaps of the ball. It is not what you would call smooth professional football.
No, I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call it that. I'm sure Shula wouldn't either.
The Lions on the Dolphins 24, 1st and 15. Danielson is hit by Dewey and under control. That'll be on the 32-yard line. A.J. Dewey pouring through on a blitzing position from his inside linebacking spot. That's a loss of 8. Second down, 23.
This is what you have to be able to do when the opposing team's offense penetrates defensively. You've got to be able to knock them out of there, take advantage, make some big plays. Way to go, A.J. That's it.
There was your old buddy Monty Clark. Has a lot of friends in Florida. Don Shula hired him as an assistant coach in 1970, and he built. There's his former mentor, who he says is his best friend and the man he most admires in America. John Arnold, Leonard Thompson, the wide receivers. And he built that great offensive line in the 70s. Danielson just went down in his own. Tried to dump the ball off, but it was too late. Danielson sacks Danielson.
Well, this surface is artificial surface, and that appeared to me that he tripped over like a seam or something because his footing just seemed to grab, and down he went.
That's what, wait, see, they didn't have this kind of field in West Lafayette, Gary. Tell them.
That is an 11-yard loss. It is now 3rd down and 34 to go. Tom Henderson's coming in, 56 in the nickel defense. Bob Brzezinski's out. Ed Taylor's come in, extra defensive back. 3rd and 34.
Tim, this is fun when you're on defense.
Right. If I was Danielson, I'd just drop back and throw it into the end zone. Can't hurt you even if they intercept it.
So they run the ball. And they give it off to Rick Kane, who's replaced Billy Sims, number 32 of San Jose State. Flag is down. The crowd boos. They wanted to see the bomb, the long one.
That's probably the smart call. Don't take a chance, but preseason never hurts to throw it up there.
That's holding against the Lions. Dolphins are going to decline the penalty and bring up a 4th down.
Offense number 73. Decline a penalty. It's 4th down.
Tom Sladany is in to do the punting. He averaged 42 yards a kick last year. He was an All-American kicker at Ohio State. The Browns drafted him. He and his lawyer, Slusser, didn't like the financial terms, so he sat out a year. And the Lions picked him up. His second year, he had a back operation, but he bounced back last year, and he's one of the better kickers in the NFL. Tommy Vigorito is the safety man. Sort of lobs it over there to the far corner and taken there on the 10-yard line by Glenn Blackwood. Blackwood is contained inside the 15. So it has to be an excellent kick for Sladany. Barry Cobb went down to cover the punt. 35-yard kick and a 5-yard return. So before the Miami Dolphins take over, with 1:24 remaining in the first period, we'll tell you it is no score.
Your work's been hard, your journey's been long, but coming home makes it all worthwhile. Then you head for the mountains. Push. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Busch. Brewed the natural way for a taste as smooth as its name. Busch.
Head for Busch beer. Head for the mountains. Head for Busch beer.
People aren't looking for good mileage. They're looking for great mileage. And here it comes. Starlet, a Toyota born small to kick the gas mileage ratings on their ear with more miles per gallon. More miles per gallon of gasoline than any other car. The Toyota Starlet. A small wonder, maybe the first small wonder of the world. Starlet! Toyota!
It's been a game of misfiring so far in this first quarter. In fact, I don't think both teams probably looked as smooth in this game as they did their first preseason game, Tim.
I think they've regressed a little bit. But, you know, we've been watching Detroit. Miami looked pretty good on offense. Let's see what they can do. They're not good field position. Let's see if they can get it out of there.
All right, they had the ball on their 13-yard line. First down, David Woodley at quarterback. Andre Franklin, Tony Nathan are the running backs. Woodley hands off to Nathan. Nathan's to the 14, and that's all. A 1-yard advance. Charlie Weaver, the left linebacker, came in to take him. The Lions play the old standard 4-3.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt, Kurt, that the Dolphins and the Dolphin fans know Tony Nathan's running ability. The question with Tony Nathan is, can he hold the football and will he hold the football? And that's what everybody's waiting to see. That's what this coaching staff's waiting to see, and that'll be the test for Tony Nathan and may depend on whether or not he starts.
All right, good observation. 2nd and 9. Dolphins on their 14. Jimmy Cephalo's in as the wide receiver. Woodley fakes a draw. They're in on him, and they hit him. Oh, boy, there's old Bubba Baker. He can come in there. Look at him. He loves those snaps. Woo! Eat that quarterback up.
That's the way to get excited, Kurt. He does come upfield here. If they got a replay on this one, actually, I don't think that's, you can blame that one on John Giesler. I think David set a little bit deep in the pocket. He had time to get it off, and he was just letting it go when he went down.
He had 18 sacks last year to lead the NFL defensive players. His rookie year, 2 years ago, he had 23 sacks to lead the NFL. Tailed off a bit last year. He's taken off some weight, got his contract all settled. He's a happy man and getting to the quarterback. 3rd and 17.
That looks familiar.
Bubba, that time may have been offside. Bubba and Charlie Weaver moving also.
I'll tell you what, if the Dolphins don't come up with a first down here, you're going to see Tom Orrs again punting for the Dolphins. He was the two-step punter out of Ohio State that we saw in that opener.
Very good job. And then Roberts came back last week, and as Foley says, they're showing Orrs and Shula smiles. We asked him if he's going to have 2 punters, and he said no.
You're right.
Defense offside.
They can't cover kickoffs for sure. But one thing, in defense of Tony Nathan, I want you folks out there to know what they're calling David Overstreet in Canada. They're calling him David Overpaid because he is now leading the Canadian Football League in fumbles. And he had 4 in 1/2, and the Montreal Alouettes are 1 in 5.
3rd down, 12. Nick Giaquino's in. Dolphins from their 11-yard line. Well, Bubba Baker was offside in the last play. They're on him, and he's brought down. There's a fumble. Joe Ehrman was in there. That front 4 really puts the heat on. Woodley has had very little time. There's the veteran Ehrman.
Explain to me, please, how the Baltimore Colts cut that gentleman.
I don't know. You'll have to go ask them. Last year, they let Stan White go, the veteran right linebacker, and he had a sensational season. There's the gun, the end of the first quarter. In the Silverdome, Detroit, Michigan, or Pontiac, Michigan, we should say, and the score is 0-0.
South Florida is growing in a lot of ways. And at Intercontinental Bank, we're doing all we can to help. We've given hundreds of small businesses the financial support they need to grow into bigger businesses, to allow them to branch out into new markets all over the country, all over the world. Intercontinental Bank, the best way we can grow is to help you grow.
This is Howard Snellenberger, head coach, Miami Hurricanes. The finest collegiate football in the nation will be played in the Orange Bowl this year. Florida, Houston, Vanderbilt, Penn State, VPI, and Notre Dame. Be there.
Choice season tickets are still available at the University of Miami Hecht Athletic Center and Coral Gables area Jordan Marsh stores and all Hurricane ticket outlets. In Dade, call 284-2655. Broward, 462-1908. Be there.
Kurt Gowdy, Chuck Battle, Tim Foley, Larry Sugarman's down on the field. And as the Dolphins open the second quarter, they're in a nasty position. They have the ball on their 2-yard line, 4th down.
What a time to have a two-step punter, though.
Yeah, very good. Tom Orez, who was impressive punting in his opening game. We have 2 Ohio State kickers here tonight, Skladany for the Lions and Orez for the Dolphins. Tracy Porter is a safety man, a rookie. He'll have to unload this. He gets it out of there. Porter on the 39, 35, and is shelved there. He's hit at the 36-yard line. Down to get him. Fulton Walker on the punt coverage team.
Great job by Fulton Walker.
All right, we'll talk more about that. We're going to be back here in the Silverdome. We've just started the second quarter, and there's no score.
This Bud's for everybody who sets them up just so they can knock them down. They're league bowlers, and they know that when you join a league, you get rolling. The competition, the excitement, with good times to spare. You find it all in the leagues at your local bowling center. And league bowlers can compete in the Budweiser Hall of Fame tournament coming this winter. So join a league and get rolling. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Miami a carpet that makes it twice as nice. We got the carpet and we got the price.
Now you can save on carpets featuring DuPont Antron Plus during Miami Rug's spectacular August sale. Long-wearing, soil and stain-resistant Antron Plus. Just one of many great carpets now on sale at Miami Rug.
Miami Rug carpet. That's just for you.
That's right, boys. So the Lions now are in excellent operating position. They have the ball on the Dolphins' 34-yard line with a first down. Danielson will be quarterbacking. Billy Sims and a rookie, Vince Thompson, number 38 from Villanova, will be the other running back. Same defensive setup. Fetters, Baumhauer, and Beaucamp up front for the Dolphins. Brzezinski, Roan, Dewey, and Gordon are linebackers. There's Billy Sims. Sims dancing away. First down. Billy Sims. What a cut he made. Looked like it might stop him at the line of scrimmage, but he cut it back. Over 1,300 yards rushing last year in his rookie season. The 3rd best rookie rushing of all time.
Well, what happens here is the defensive end, because the ball is handed off over the center of the line, gets drawn in a little bit, and then he gets hooked by the tackle, and that created a gap between Larry Gordon and Kim Beaucamper.
Sims, by the way, gained 72 yards in 1/2 last week.
He doesn't need a gap. He just needs a slither there.
First down, Lions on the Miami 22. Sims again, this time hit him at the 20, but always leaning forward, diving for that goal line. Picked up another yard as he went over the 20. Well, they put it right on the 20. Ernie Roan and A.J. Dewey. Middle linebackers stopped him. Look at the stats here. Great passing yardage, both teams, in the minuses.
Well, the Dolphins, of course, are supposed to, earlier in the week, Shula said go with Don Strock here in the second quarter, and I believe I see Strock over there warming up, so perhaps we will see Don Strock when the Dolphins get the ball back.
Billy Sims has ran for 30 yards and 5 carries. Leading ball carrier of the game, 2nd down 8. Trying to get outside. Billy is out of bounds, and he'll go out on the 15-yard line of the Dolphins.
Doug Betters was just inches from greatness, Kurt.
That's right.
He very nearly made the tackle in the backfield.
Well, what you'd like to do is you'd like to get your containment upfield a little bit more than this. They string it out nicely. A.J.'s pursuing from the inside, and Brzezinski's fighting it off. Blackwood's trying to get up from the outside, but you'd like to shut that off a little bit faster than that. Dolphins, big play time, 3rd and 3.
Lions ball on the Dolphins' 15-yard line. A scoreless game. We're early in the second quarter. And the quick-hitting rookie, Vince Thompson, number 38, has the first down and goal to go as he reaches the Miami 4-yard line where Don Bezolo had to take him. First and 4 for a Lion touchdown.
Nice job by Elias here, the left guard. Gets the movement. Good block on the linebacker, and safety comes up, makes the tackle. Bessalou can't have that kind of space down that close.
Now Danielson asking for time. Thompson and Billy Sims set behind Gary Danielson. 4 yards for a touchdown. Here's Sims. He's in there. Billy Sims. Pile drives into the end zone, and the Lions have scored. 12:37 to go in the first half.
Don't ever underestimate that man's ability. I thought they had that play strung out pretty well, Tim, and he left his feet at about the 3-yard line to get in there.
Yeah, you just got to get quicker containment than that in that particular area of the field when you got a guy that can turn it up and get over the top like he can. The Dolphins were put in bad field position by being backed up, and it's just a couple of big plays, and you got a touchdown.
I was going to say what really scored the touchdown was that Lion front 4. They kept sacking Woodley, pushing the Dolphins back nearly into their own end zone. Eddie Murray's kick is up. It is good, and the Lions have a 7-0 lead. But that furious front 4 of the Lions made Miami kick out of the end zone, and from the 36-yard line then of Miami, the Lions moved it on in. We'll be back at the Silverdome. The Lions lead 7-0.
Okay, I'll tell them. We've got great news for you, folks. Buy it now, and Bernines won't bill you until January 1982. Just use the Bernines charge card during the August home sale and put everything on the Household Club installment account. You can defer payment on everything from beautiful furniture to carpets, stereos, television, and major appliances. Remember, during the August home sale, this card and the Household Club account mean not a penny, not a peseta, not a peso until January 1982. Okay, I told them. Now everybody's going to be there. You just can't keep good news a secret.
At Publix, it's not enough to give you the most for your money.
We want to do more.
So our deli doesn't just have great salami
Fantastic sausages.
and gorgeous cheeses ready to go.
It also has delicious southern fried chicken, juicy roast beef,
Delightful salad.
and tasty sandwiches ready to eat.
So not only is it a great deli,
It would make a great restaurant. Mwah!
We're ready now for the kickoff. Eddie Murray of the Lions. Fulton Walker's in the middle, number 41, the rookie kick return man. And we'll have Larry Sugarman in here with us in just a minute after this kickoff. High kick, tumbling to Walker on the goal line. He's out to the 10. Got a momentary hold, and it closed up rapidly to the flag dropped on the kickoff return. And covering that was a running back, Calicut, number 31, for the Lions. 21-yard return. Don Strock is coming into quarterback. Let's see what this flag's all about. Let's go down to Larry Sugarman while they talk it over.
Kurt, the last time John Giesler walked off the field, he walked up to John Sandusky and said, look, the guy's holding me. What do I do? Sandusky says, kick him. Back up to you, Kurt.
Great coaching technique. They called Kozlowski for clipping on the kickoff, and that was questionable from up here.
Tim, I'll tell you what, though. Fulton Walker took the ball straight up the middle, and when he saw the crowd, just dug in. Last week, Shula was not as impressed with Walker as he was in the first week. Thought he was doing too much dancing around, not moving the ball forward enough. So he's apparently drilled it in his head pretty clearly. He wants to see him headed up the field.
All right, here are the Dolphins in bad field position again. Last time they had the ball, they had a punt from the 2-yard line. Now they have a first down from their 8. They give the ball off to Eddie Hill, number 31, who's to the 12-yard line. Barry Robisky's also in there, number 38. And Dave Purifoy, the left end of the Lions, made that stop. Charlie Weaver's gone out as a left linebacker, and Gary Cobbs replaced him.
You got to be patient here. You can't, you can't get excited and because you're 7 points behind, begin to make a lot of progress in a big hurry. You can't take too many chances down here or turn it over to him again.
Well, certainly Don Strock's one who'd know that, Tim, with the experience he's had.
Second down, 6. Dolphins from their 12. Strock was perfect in the third quarter against Denver last week, 6 for 6. Sets a screen up to Terry Robisky. It's not going anywhere. Lions had it smothered. Ken Fantetti, that aggressive middle linebacker, and Wayne Smith, the left corner. Fantetti's 57. He's all over the field.
What happens here is the front four doesn't buy it. They don't buy the fact that this is a pass, and they get their lineman out in that screen in a hurry and wrap up Robisky before he has a chance to get going.
Fantetti's a good-looking middle linebacker, Tim.
Does a nice job.
3rd down, 7. Dolphins from their 11. 3 wide receivers on the field for the Dolphins. So they run the ball to Eddie Hill. Hill's out to the 10. Bounced out of bounds on the 13. That's Ray Oldham and Jimmy Allen, the 2 safety men. From sideline to sideline, the Lions are pursuing here in this first half.
Stan White does a nice job here. Watch him in the corner of your screen, grabbing the interference. He hangs onto that guard. As a result, Eddie Hill's out there all by himself, and all of a sudden he gets a lot of company in blue shirts.
4th and 6, punt formation. Tom Orez will kick to Tracy Porter, the rookie of LSU, a 4th-round pick. Watch him now, 2-step kicker, which is unusual. Most of them are 3-step kickers. 1, 2, up it goes. The far sideline gets the Dolphin bounce. Porter has it on his 48 and down at the 49 of the Lions. Kozlowski's down there, number 40, and Steve Scholl, number 52, to cover the punt for Miami. First down with the Lions take over, and we'll be back at the Silverdome. Detroit leads Miami 7-0.
If your car keeps running even after you stop, maybe your car needs the gas with guts. New Gulf Super Unleaded helps stop dieseling, knocking, and pinging because it's one of the highest octane unleaded gasolines you can buy. New Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend. Good eating style. Special of the week for gourmet's delight. Here's how to add a little weekend flavor to any dish. Served with generous portions of Michelob, because that smooth and mellow taste helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
The Lions ball on their 49 with a first down. You're looking at the Lion bench. They're in blue if you just joined us. The Dolphins in white. Gary Danielson, Billy Sims, and a rookie, Vince Thompson, set behind him. Another rookie in motion. Porter, the pitches to Sims. He hands off. Leonard Thompson, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 20, out of bounds. A neat wide receiver reverse play. The pitch was to Billy Sims, who handed off to the wide man, Leonard Thompson, and Thompson carries it to the 16-yard line of the Dolphins. It fooled Miami, and Don Bezolo had to knock him out of bounds. 35-yard play.
A nice call here by the Lions offensive coaching staff. The Dolphins got to come in and make a big play. They're going to be hot after the ball. They're going to be excited and anxious. And what happens here? They over-pursue to the weak side and just don't get the containment strong side.
First down, Lions on the Dolphins 16. The Lions have dominated this first half. Dolphin offense has done nothing. That quick front four. And lately the Lions have been moving the ball. Billy Sims has it. Sims is hit. Oh. Great charge here by Larry Gordon, number 50, who came slashing through and hit him around the ankles and knocked him down.
You know, we hit him behind the ankle, but hit him around the ankles and behind the line of scrimmage, and he still got back to the line. As a matter of fact, it gained about a foot.
You got to understand what a fine play that was by Larry Gordon. It's his job to close the trap. He took the inside of that offensive lineman pulling at him and drove the lineman back into the ball carrier. Fine play. They need a couple more of them to keep him out of the end zone here, too.
Second down, 10 for Detroit. Just short of the Miami 15. Lions leading 7-0. Danielson flips it down, drop. Dropped at the 13-yard line by Vince Thompson. Ernie Roan all over him, but no interference. He was going for the ball as well as the receiver.
Of course there wasn't interference. No interference on that play. That's good coverage by Ernie Roan. Now, some of the people in the stands here thought that might have been interference. What do you think, Chuck?
Well, I kind of sided with him. I thought he was there a little bit early. But you being the defensive back that you are, I know that you didn't think so.
Well, I'm not going to ask you anymore. I can see that right now.
That's okay. As long as they don't call them, they're all good defensive plays.
Rick Kane is in, number 32. Tom Henderson's in on defense for the Dolphins, along with Eddie Taylor. Look out, there's an offside. Flag goes down. That's on Doug Betters. Danielson scrambling loose. Throws on the run. David Hill for a touchdown. And if it's offside on Doug Betters, the Lions will decline the penalty and have a touchdown. Danielson slipping away. He's been scrambling very neatly tonight. And it is, let's see here, looks like a touchdown. Offside against Miami, declined by the Lions. Danielson to the tight end, David Hill for the score. Touchdown.
Displays good quickness getting out, and now you're defensive back. You got to feel like life's a basketball game, and you're Mickey Rooney.
He knew where he was all the time. He looked at he knew where the line of scrimmage was. You saw him stop short and fade back about a yard before he threw the ball, before he crossed the line of scrimmage. He was aware on that play. The Lion quarterback, Gary Danielson. All right, try for point. Hipple holding. Eddie Murray boots it. And the Lions have scored 14 points here in the second quarter. We'll be back for the kickoff from the Silverdome. It's now the Lions 14 and the Dolphins nothing.
For your mortgage in Miami, your checks in West Palm Beach, for your export loan in Tampa, we're right in easy reach. You can count on us all over to show you that we care. We're Southeast Bank. We're right there with you everywhere.
Your home, your business, your checking. Wherever you need help, Southeast Bank is there with offices all across Florida.
We're right there with you everywhere.
I think we're lost.
I know we're lost.
You'll never get there.
We're going to be late.
At times like this, it's nice to have a front-wheel drive Toyota pulling for you.
Just over the hill.
There it is, gentlemen.
The Toyota Corolla Tercel, Toyota's lowest priced car. The Toyota Tercel, a car that pulls its own weight.
And a little bit more.
Oh, what a feeling, Tercel, Toyota.
Two touchdowns by the Lions. Their defense has throttled Miami. The Lions have had good field position the last two times they've had the ball, and they've taken advantage of it. Here's the kick by Eddie Murray. The far corner. Kozlowski fields it on the 5. He's to the 10. And again, the Dolphins will be in, this isn't poor field position, but it isn't very good. Alvin Hall drove him out. 13-yard return.
It's in poor field position, but I guess everything's relative. They did a great job covering the kick, and this guy gets the kick up high and deep, and it's a good kind of kickoff to cover. Field position is really an important part of the game, and so far the Dolphins haven't had much.
Kuchenberg is out at guard. Jeff Taves has come in. Miami takes over on their 7-yard line. The last time, 17. The last time they took over on their 8. The time before that, they had a punt from their 2-yard line. Strock, a diving grab for a first down. Duriel Harris snagged that one. And they're going to spot the ball on the 33. A 16-yard gain for Miami.
Nice catch by Duriel. This is a pattern that, for example, Oakland won't even run because they don't have receivers that'll come inside over the middle to catch the ball. But Duriel stretches out here and pulls it in.
33. Eddie Hill, Terry Robisky, the setbacks behind Don Strock. Dolphins now. First down. That's Eddie Hill. Hill is just short of the 40, hit by Dave Purifoy, the left end of the Lions.
Kurt, last night I had dinner with Eddie Hill, and talking with him, you couldn't ask for a man to be any happier to be somewhere than he is to be in Miami. He was very unhappy sitting behind Wendell Tyler and Elvis Peacock out in L.A. He thought that he was going to get the opportunity for a trade during the offseason. It didn't materialize, and then he comes to camp and gets the good news. He's headed to Miami.
Duriel Harris, Jimmy Cephalo, wide receivers. Second down, there's encroachment. Joe Ehrman pointing, hey, I didn't do it. He charged across, he touched the Dolphin. Now, was he drawn? It's offside, encroachment against number 74, Joe Ehrman, the veteran left tackle. Once you touch that man without being drawn over, they immediately blow the whistle.
Now, Tim, they've seen Kim Bocamper try that twice tonight. They ought to know that this referee and crew isn't buying that.
Right, yeah, don't ask the analyst what's going on down there, because he doesn't know.
Lions have been penalized 5 times in the first half for offside. But they're ahead 14-0. 8:25 to go in the first half. Miami's ball on their own 45. Struck on a quick signal count. Throws it right down the middle at the first down inside the Lion 40 to Duriel Harris. Harris started down and then wheeled right back to the middle of the field in a crossing pattern, and Strzok laid it right in there to him.
Great job here by Duriel Harris coming up with the catch. Nice job by Jimmy Cephalo, who cleared out the weak safety there and gave him the room to come in behind the linebackers, and he created the area there. Duriel does a nice job now. He's looking for some place to go.
What's that now? 9 for 9 over 2 games. Knock on wood.
He's throwing well. First down, Dolphins. Lion 39. Eddie Hill slips, drives forward to the 39. No gain. 2nd and 10. Ken Fantetti and James Hunter were on top of him.
Well, Channel 10's the official University of Miami Hurricane station. Join us for the season opener when the Hurricanes go head-to-head with the Texas Longhorns. Catch all the action here live on September 26th at 8 p.m. on the one and only TV 10 South Florida Sports Station.
Coming in, Cephalo and Moore. Alvin Hall comes in as a 5th secondary back for the Lions. 2nd and 10 Dolphins on the Lion 39. Strzok throwing the deep one. He had a man open a couple of steps. Flags are down, 1 at the line of scrimmage, 2 down around the goal line. Jimmy Allen on Jimmy Cephalo, who had a man beaten. But we had a flag dropped at the line of scrimmage before the flags went down on the pass route.
Well, I know the one downfield's pass interference. You know, Allen's not used to having a guy like that run by him.
Oh, he just reached out to grab him, too.
That's right.
He didn't try to hide that.
2 fouls on a defense, holding and pass interference.
2 fouls on the defense. They held illegal use of the hands at the line of scrimmage. That's what the first flag was for. Pass interference on the 5-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal to go for the Dolphins. They'll take the big one, of course.
Number 40, pass interference, accept it. It's a 1st down.
Jimmy Allen was the man that did the interfering, and Coach Monty Clark's not too happy. Here's the Dolphins' first big scoring chance of the first half. They're trailing 14-0. 6:57 to play in the half. Detroit now has been penalized 6 times for 60 yards. Eddie Hill set to the left, along with Terry Robisky. Robisky rams forward to the 2, fumbled the ball, but the whistle had blown. Whistle had already blown. Fantetti hit him and jarred it loose. When he hits you, that ball can pop out of there.
The Dolphins have to take advantage of this scoring opportunity. Detroit has capitalized on 2 out of 3 of their opportunities, and this is the first chance the Dolphins have had to get some points on the board. They need to score here.
2nd and goal.
2nd down, about 2.5 to go for a Dolphin touchdown.
Steve Toll just went in the game. Well, I tell you what, those blue jerseys go with his eyes, right?
Steve Toll, ex of the Dolphins, now over here with the Lions. Ronnie Lee, Bruce Hardy, 2 tight ends for blocking power. Everybody ganged up there in the goal line defense. There goes Nat Moore in motion. Little mess up. The pass struck. Touchdown to Bruce Hardy, the reserve tight end, 84. Fine call. It had the Lions fooled. Hardy was wide open in the end zone.
Super job. And it was nice to see Don Strzok jump up and down after he completed that pass. He's excited. Bruce Hardy slips behind the linebacker here. Touchdown.
6:03 to play as the Dolphins are on the scoreboard in the first half. So their drive started on the 17 of Miami, went 83 yards. And they finally strung something together offensively. Von Schaman to kick. High snap, but he drives it through, and the Dolphins are back in this game.
The kick is good.
As we go to commercial, watch how wide open Bruce Hardy is. Nobody near him. We'll be back at the Silverdome. It's now the Lions 14, the Dolphins 7.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, Big Apple style. The New York City pace is fast and furious, but in this town, people play as hard as they work. So whenever they get the chance, New Yorkers enjoy a little of that weekend feeling with a smooth and mellow taste of Michelob.
Put a little weekend in your weekend.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we better pull in up ahead for gas. At a truck stop? It's a 76 auto truck stop. Murph says they're perfect for travelers.
See, just like Murph said.
Murph
Facilities
says.
for cars.
Oh, there's a restaurant.
Yeah, Murph says they're open 24 hours.
Murph says.
Okay, what does Murph recommend on the menu? Well, Murph says...
The fried chicken and apple pie are terrific.
Murph, what are you doing here?
Having fried chicken and apple pie, what else?
Go with the spirit,
Coast to coast.
the spirit of 76.
83-yard drive by the Dolphins, capped up by the 2.5-yard pass. Don Strock to Bruce Hardy. 7 plays. Here's Von Schaman's kick. Line drive to the 20-yard line. Up to the 30 is Ken Callicutt. Took it. Now there's a flag down. Maybe he's got a little spearing or piling on there after the play. We'll find out. Steve Potter made the tackle for the Dolphins. I want to tell you something. From what I saw last week against Denver and here in the second quarter today, Mr. Don Strock is going to have that Dolphin coaching staff scrambling around back in the back of their minds of who may be opening this season at quarterback. That's grabbing a face mask against the Dolphins. Strock has looked very commanding out there. Let's go down to Larry Sugarman while they mark this penalty off against Miami.
Kurt, earlier in the second quarter, Don Beslew injured his left shoulder trying to make a tackle, and he, curiously enough, was on the sideline trying to lift the doctor's black bag.
On the kicking team, the 5-yard penalty.
All right, thank you, Larry.
First down. Kurt, I think along the lines of what you're saying, I'm just afraid it's already predetermined that David Woodley's the man. They've kind of designed the offense around him, and Don Strock has looked impressive. You can't argue with you.
Lions on their 36 with a first down. They had a fake handoff. The pass is out. It's complete to Leonard Thompson, who had to be carried out of bounds by Larry Gordon.
Danielson's pass to Vince Thompson.
Vince Thompson. Let's check that. Not Leonard Thompson. Vince Thompson, number 38. Just short of a first down on the Lion 45. Krasinski's out. Thomas Henderson replaces him as left linebacker.
You know, well, I'll talk about that in a second. Hang on.
We're going to hang on with bated breath there, Foley.
Yeah.
Huh?
Get excited.
Second down, a yard to go. That is the rookie from Villanova, Vince Thompson, close to the first down. Go ahead, Timmy.
One thing I was going to say, in professional sports, one thing I've noticed in the last 12 years is that nothing is predetermined. You know, plans are made, and it doesn't take long to scrap them if you see they're not going the way you want them to go. So they might have said before the season starts, Woodley's going to be our quarterback, but I guarantee you, Strock keeps looking like that. As you said, they're going to start wondering about that.
Bill Barnett has got in as a nose tackle. Baumhauer's out. Third down and a foot to go. Lions ball just over their own 45. The score 14-7. Lions ahead. We're approaching 5 minutes to play in the first half. Quarterback sneak, first down by Gary Danielson. Lions will be on their 48-yard line now.
Kurt, of course, this is the site, the Silverdome here, of this year's Super Bowl. Be interesting to see. I was talking to some fans up here today. It'll be interesting to see what'll happen if the weather doesn't cooperate, and it's been known to be chilly here in Detroit area in January.
Well, it'll be all right inside, but getting in here, they have some horrible traffic jams in this stadium. Getting in and getting out of here, and if they get a blizzard or some slippery highways, could be something. Danielson flips, could be intercepted. No! Intended for David Hill, but the pass was thrown too low. Kozlowski was over there to cover.
That's the same type of passes they threw earlier. Remember when we talked about the tight end falling down? And he was open. Gary just didn't have the touch on it that particular time. That's the second first down in a row that the Detroit offense has tried to play pass. You know, they know that the Miami Dolphins are concerned about stopping Billy Sims.
Second down 10. Lions ball from their 48. Sims is out, takes it. He's hit, down he goes. Right on him, Ernie Roan, and then Tom Henderson came in there to bounce. And Sims says, what happened? Where's my blocking? It's supposed to be a screen.
I'll tell you what happened. You remember last week, Ernie got laying off a little bit, got caught laying back a little bit, and they completed a screen for a long gainer on him. And this week he said, hey, I'm not going to have myself up on that wall with that film running and me looking bad again. So he fought his way up through there, made a heck of a play.
3rd and 16. The Lions will operate from their 42. Vince Thompson, the fullback's out. Rick Kane has replaced him. He'll be number 32. Lions leading 14-7. Dolphins have just marched 83 yards for a score. Ed Taylor is the 5th secondary back in there. Trying to get to him. He's had protection. That pass. He's got it. He held on to it. Leonard Thompson. A hard hit by Kozlowski, but Thompson held on to it with outstanding concentration.
Well, you remember the play that Durio caught a pass on coming in over the middle. That's the same play. We got the split end clearing it out. Leonard Thompson's coming in over the middle. The middle linebacker's got to get good depth. It's 3rd and 15. Get back out of there.
Now the Lions have a first down. Thompson is out after that hit on him, and the rookies replaced him, Tracy Porter. I want to talk about 2 rookies of the Lions in just a moment. Time moving along, 2:40 to play in the half. Sims slipped the tackle. 35, 30. Look at him. That's all Sims. I mean, he did all that on his own to the 29. An 8-yard gain by Billy Sims.
Kurt, I saw
it was Don McNeil who brought him down.
Kurt, I saw 5 white jerseys getting up off of him. I think that's a great example about what you were talking about right at the beginning of this telecast. He's always leaning forward, always going forward. He was dragging Dolphins with him there as he went.
Well, Hollywood made a nice play getting upfield, but he just didn't wrap him up. And now this is what you call being your own blocker. Determination that's made him a great runner.
Look at that. Look at that. Momentum toward that goal line.
The Dolphins need to get excited here. I'll tell you what, right now they're going to have some water.
We have the 2-minute warning in the Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan.
Tim, what's he doing there? See, he's talking with the back judge.
What they're doing there is they're determining who can call timeout. What players on the field have the ability to call timeout? Who are your defensive captains on the field?
Bill Arnsberger with the defensive coach with his finger up to his mouth. Attorney Roan, number 55.
TV 10 brings you exclusive live television coverage when the Hurricanes blow through Texas, Mississippi State, East Carolina State, Florida State, North Carolina. TV 10 covers the action like no one else, so stay with us here on South Florida's sports station. We're looking forward to those University of Miami games, and I noticed the other day the Hurricanes have already sold 58,000 tickets for their season opener with the Florida Gators. So they're expecting a big crowd in the Orange Bowl September 5th against the Gators.
When we resume play here in the last 2 minutes, Lions have the ball, the Dolphins 29. They have a second down 8. Billy Sims has been by far the most impressive back on the field. He's the leading ball carrier. He must have around 50 yards in the first half. Another one of his 100-yard games that he played all the way, of which he's enjoyed. quite a few in his years in high school, college, and after his first year in the pros. He'll have a lot more if he doesn't have the misfortune to become injured. He has 44 yards, 8 carries, nearly a 6-yard average. 2nd and 2 for the Lions. The rookie is hit by A.J. Dewey, 77, Vince Thompson. And that play goes for nothing and brings up a 3rd down and 2 yards to go for Detroit. The clock is moving. Neither team has used a timeout yet in the first half. Bo Robinson, the starting fullback, is in. They're taking out Kirkland, a wide receiver, and Nozolik, a reserve tight end. 3rd and 2. Sims has the ball, and what do you do when you need a couple, 3 tough ones? Who do you give it to? Number 20, which will be repeated many times down the years. Yeah, how they call some players the franchise. This fellow was the franchise last year. He was the first pick of the draft. Wasn't much doubt that he would go number 1. They had a big hassle over his bonus and salary. He's been worth every dime to it. He caught fire right in his first game out of Los Angeles, had everybody in this area excited, and been the best investment the Lions ever made.
One thing you have to do when you're playing against a fellow like that, and we played against O.J. Simpson for a lot of years down in Miami, is the man that gets to him first, the man that makes first contact, has just got to hold on. Don't try and punish him. Don't try to really knock him off his feet. Just hold on to him. And everybody else can't be hanging around. They got to be getting there. They got to be involved in that pursuit.
Well, Sims has only played a year. I used to ask Ted Williams about hitters. They say, come back to me 10 years from now, I'll talk about him. In other words, he believed in the fellow was a real star. He had to last a long time. Now, what you've seen of Sims last year, Tim, and films of him, and tonight, how would you compare him to O.J. Simpson?
Well, I think he's got a little bit more power than O.J. I'm not sure that he has the quickness, but, no, they're both great backs.
It is first down. The Lions ball on the Miami 26. Lions are leading 14-7. Tracy Porter, the wide receiver, in motion. Out they spread. Quick flip as to Thompson, the fullback, at the 20. He goes forward, and he's finally stopped at the 17 by Ernie Roan. Bill Barnett was there, and the Lions have called another timeout to stop the clock.
They're flooding the weak side in this pattern. Both backs weak side. Who he's looking for is Billy Sims down the field. Good coverage on him, so they dump it off. Now you got to react, get back upfield, and get him on the ground.
The Lions have 1 timeout left. The clock is stopped with 1:07 to go. Our final preseason game will be next Friday night from the Orange Bowl. The opponents will be the Kansas City Chiefs, club that has been building themselves a good defensive team. Their offense now will be a question. With their young quarterback Fuller injured.
You know, one thing we might talk about, you've seen it tonight, you saw it last week, all the offensive teams shifting formations, moving men in motion, and what's the purpose of that? Well, the purpose is obviously to confuse the defense and disguise the final formation you're going to be in till the last possible second. So far, whatever they're doing tonight's working.
They'll line up now with Danielson at quarterback, Sims and the rookie Vince Thompson at running back. Dexter Bussey is out for about a month. He'd normally be starting with Billy Sims. They were a good tandem together, too. Bussey could block, and he ran for over 600 yards. Danielson flips it. There's Hill. Wide open. David Hill, wide open, beating Glenn Blackwood. That's the second touchdown he scored tonight.
Tim, Glenn Blackwood looked up like he was expecting help there. Was he supposed to get some help in the back?
It's tough to see. It looked like he was playing him on the outside, and I'm really not sure. Kozlowski was the only guy back in there that might have been able to help him. It looked like a blitz to me. Gary Danielson checked off on this play. Watch him. He's looking to his left and comes back to Dave Hill over the top.
So Hill Cardinals have 3 catches tonight for 40 yards. Eddie Murray will try the kick. Third-string quarterback Eric Hipple will hold. Kick is up, and it is good. Flag is down. Lions scored 1 minute and 1 second to go in the half.
Obviously, in the formation that they were in, they had both wide receivers to one side. That's going to be the side that's going to get most of your attention defensively in terms of coverage. And it kind of puts the guy on the weak side on a little bit of an island.
This is a holding penalty against the Lions.
Holding, offense number 52. Well, this will make that extra point look a little tougher to him.
Dan White held. He should know better than that. He's been around 10 years.
That's why he held.
That's right.
He's been getting away with it for 10 years.
Another try for the extra point by Eddie Murray. He's from the 19-yard line where the ball is kicked. It is up, and he gets it anyway. He hit 27 out of 42 field goals last year. An amazing percentage for a rookie kicker, Eddie Murray. So the Lions now have another 14-point lead. They're ahead of the Dolphins, 21-7. They're going to watch this touchdown again and observe how wide open David Hill gets on this play.
Watch Gary Danielson looking to his left. Nice job. He's patient, waiting for Hill to come open. Looks down the field. He's got it.
Breadbasket.
Yeah, it really is tough to tell if there was a mix-up in signals or what's happening. That's not the group that's in there together a lot of the time, and communication is so important in secondary play.
Well, we got 1 minute and 1 second left to play in the first half, and Don Strock will get one more opportunity. I'd like to see how the veteran now works with 1 minute and 1 second and his play calling. Maybe he can move this club.
Well, we moved him last time, 83 yards.
For Detroit. Walker Dean for Miami.
They won't have much time, though, before that gun goes off for the half. In rushing, Miami has 32 yards. Detroit, 111 yards in the first half. This kick comes down. Kozlowski takes it on the 9. He's out to the 20. Trying to pick up somebody. Gets to the 30. And down he goes. Where Luther Bradley of Notre Dame, took Walt Kozlowski down.
Kozlowski returns the kickoff
at the 33-yard line of the Dolphins.
Bradley on
33-yard return. Dennard is out at center. Dwight Stevenson goes in.
At 10 at their own 34.
Plenty of time here. A minute left. 3 timeouts left. You're going to see a pro at work here. Don Strock going to move the ball down the field.
All right, the Lions have that first-string line in there. Tommy Vigorito, Terry Robisky are the running backs. They're in a slot right formation. They dump it off. That's Robisky, and he is dumped by Ray Oldham, a 9-year veteran. He used to be with the Baltimore Colts. This is getting to be a Baltimore Colts farm system over here. The Colts are their farm system.
Complete.
Gary Cobb
Brought down by Odom.
goes out, and Luther Bradley's in. Strock setting up quickly. Oh, and, hey, caught the ball, a near interception. And number 52, Stan White, says, White, that ball went right through my hand. Joe Rose took it there. I thought White was going to intercept that ball and maybe have a wide open field for a touchdown.
He catches that one. That's 6 on the board. But, you know, those defensive players don't get over there for nothing. They usually are over there because they can't catch, you can't throw, or can't do anything on offense where it counts.
Well, somebody roughed up Don Strock, and the Dolphins are going to be the beneficiaries of another advance of the football here by about 15 yards.
That's right. They're tacking it on. To be roughing the passer. Herman is arguing.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. On a defense, number 74, that's a first down.
Joe Ehrman.
Now you know why he was arguing.
Yeah. You gotta know quarterbacks aren't involved in contact. Don't come close to those guys.
There are 23 seconds remaining in the first half. 21-7, the Lions leading. They'll start the clock at the snap. Strock throws. Ooh, Tommy Vigorito. Welcome to the NFL, kid. He's really belted that time by Ray Oldham. Now they have stopped the clock with 17 seconds. Timeout. Miami, they have 2 timeouts left in the half, and the Lions have 1 timeout left.
You're kind of in a defenseless position there. You've got your eye on the ball, and before you can put it away, here comes the defensive player. And, you know, what the defensive guy is thinking is, look, and I don't want to hurt you, but this might be a little painful. It's nothing personal, though.
Shula's saying something to one of the officials. Strock's over to talk to Shula. Now Strock moved him 83 yards in 7 plays for their touchdown. And now he's taken them from their own 33. And they're right now in the 32 of the Lions.
I think there may be some question as to how many timeouts the Dolphins have left. They've got them with just 1 timeout left, but I believe they still have 2, Kurt, as you said.
Unless they call one back here that we kind of thought was an official timeout.
Miami's first timeout.
That's it. That was the first timeout.
Ray Oldham's kind of an interesting story. Played with the Colts, was a cornerback. Didn't really have the speed to be a cornerback. He was with Pittsburgh one season after he was released by the Colts, and then with the Giants for a season. Came in here, started most of the year last year, and he's kind of an inspirational leader out on that defense.
Second down, 3 to go. Miami's ball and the Lion 31. 17 seconds to go in the half. 3 wide receivers on the field for the Dolphins. Strock. Intercepted on the 5. Coming back with Alvin Hall. Hall to the 30, 35, 40. Strock lobbed that one up for the taking. A bad pass. 2 seconds to go. Flag down again. Somebody roughing it up down there after he was hit.
It's a hockey game, Kurt. Watch out.
42-yard return by Alvin Hall, a rookie from Miami of Ohio. All he had to do was wait for that big rainbow job to come down to him. There was no one there.
But Don got hit as he let that one go. He really couldn't step into it, and as a result, there wasn't what he wanted on the ball on it. Strock steps up, really can't step up into the pocket, and as a result, the ball's kind of laying up there. And
we have a personal foul on both teams, and number 54 from Detroit come off the bench. He is out of the ball game.
What are you doing? Get back on the bench where you belong now, hon.
There's number 54 came off the Lions bench illegally. I'll never forget the Cotton Bowl game I did when that Alabama kid came out and tackled Dickie Magel as a 12th player. I saw that red blue in an Alabama uniform. I'll never forget that. Dickie Magel was running free for a touchdown. He scored 4 touchdowns in that game. It would have been a 92-yard run. Tommy Lewis was his name. Tommy Lewis came off the Alabama bench, couldn't hold himself. Magel went by him and he hit him, and they awarded an immediate touchdown. It was up on the 50-yard line.
Well, Steve Toll won't be coming off the bench anymore. I don't believe he's going to be coming off anywhere except maybe out of the dressing room. I see him walking out now. He's been thrown out of here.
You know, and Steve didn't need that at that point in time.
Look at the Big Ben play coming up. 3 receivers bunched on one side. This play was originated by Atlanta. Took 3 men down the field and slopped the ball to them. Big Ben beat the clock.
Let's go up and get it, boys.
Up they go. They're hoping for a tip. It's intercepted. Up for the ball is Blackwood.
That's Blackie.
Blackwood's still going. He's at the 40. Blackwood's at the 45-yard line, and time is out. The first half is over. A wild ending of the first half here. The Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. But the Lions have the lead. The score at halftime, the Detroit Lions 21 and the Miami Dolphins 7. We had a double penalty on the same play. Steve Toll came off the bench. Illegally, he's kicked out of the game, and then an interception there by Len Blackwood.
See Gary Danielson make that tackle? That's
Gary Danielson, a good thing he did, too, Tim. There were a lot of white jerseys out in front of him and not many blue ones.
end this way.
It can.
But I didn't know.
You know now. Sport Room's last 2-for-1 sale is ending.
You don't mean...
I do. It's your last chance for 2-for-1 membership savings on Sport Room's racquetball, Nautilus fitness equipment,
Not Nautilus.
aerobic dance, and yoga.
Can't I have just one more chance?
Well,
Please.
but only if you come in now.
Oh.
Jenkins, how's business these days?
Great. Using more long distance, sales are finally on the way up.
Good for you. We're getting more done by phone, too, with our new 800 service.
What do you mean 800 service?
You know, toll-free 800 number. It makes it so easy for customers to call us. We've got all the business we can handle.
800 service, huh?
Yep, it is just the ticket for companies that are going places.
For information on Bill 800 service, call this number.
Back at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, Chuck Dowdle, Kurt Gowdy, Tim Foley, and Larry Sugarman with you. 21-7, the Detroit Lions on top of the Miami Dolphins here. And this the third exhibition game of this preseason, 4-game preseason. We mentioned during this first half that the Miami Dolphins have seen a number of players and coaches journey up to Detroit to be a part of the Detroit Lions, including, of course, former Dolphin offensive line coach, now Detroit Lion head coach Monty Clark. But also among the members, matter of fact, 5 members of the Lions coaching staff who have had a former connection with the Dolphin organization. A gentleman that Tim Foley referred to as perhaps making one of the biggest plays in Dolphin history when he decided to run a ball on 4th down against the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the Dolphins' early years, the drive for the Super Bowl years. That, of course, Larry Seifel. Seifel now the receivers coach with the Detroit Lions, and our Larry Sugarman talked with Larry Seifel prior to tonight's game, and here's what he had to say.
And with me down here is Larry Seifel, former Miami Dolphin, former coach, University of Miami Hurricanes under Howard Schnellenberger. I guess I can say welcome back to Miami, Larry.
Well, I should welcome you to Detroit. I mean, we're in Detroit, hopefully, and, you know, we're looking for a good game, and we're looking for a good season from everybody here, too.
Tell me about the Detroit Lions' first 2 games in the preseason.
Well, we started off with Buffalo and didn't play well, and it rained like cats and dogs up there, and we had a, poor showing offensively. But we ended up winning the ball game thanks to Buffalo. They made a few mistakes, and we, did well to recover from that and win the game. Came back in here at home and played Cincinnati and didn't play too well offensively again, so we ended up losing that game. But we're looking to come off of all this stuff and get ourselves back together and become a good offensive football team.
The NFC Central Division is, again, going to be a dog race. You, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, it just goes on and on. The Bears are going to be in there. It's going to be a dogfight all the way, isn't it?
It's always been one up here, from what I understand. Even when I was playing with Miami, the Central Division in the NFC has always been a dogfight. And like you say, Minnesota, Chicago, Tampa, Green Bay, and us, and it's going to be a matter of who wants it the most, I guess. Everybody's tried to give it away last year. Nobody wanted to take it, and finally Minnesota snuck in the back door. But we feel we've got an excellent chance to win this division. If we can do that, we can get ourselves in the playoffs.
Your head coach, Monty Clark, was a disciple of Don Shula. You played under Don Shula. This Detroit Lion team, does it have the flavor of a Don Shula coach team?
It's getting there. Monty came here in '78, and he started the program off. And then, last year when I came here, it came a little bit, we got a little bit better with it. The program's catching on a little bit more. So I just feel that right now we're on a growing stage, and I think it's starting the same way Miami started in 1970.
Well, you came here last year as an assistant, and you had a very fine year last year, 9-7. You started off great, and then all of a sudden it kind of went down in the middle of the season. What happened then?
Well, we hit a lull. We lost a couple of offensive linemen, which really hurt us. And our backup people, we just didn't play very well for us. So we had a little bit of a lull there after the Atlanta game and lost a couple of games in a row and never really recovered until the end of the season. And by then it was too late. Minnesota had already gained some ground on us and ended up winning the division.
Very briefly now, is this a one-dimensional team? Is this team Billy Sims and not much after that?
No, I don't believe so. We rely a lot on Billy, there's no doubt about that, because he's an excellent runner. But we throw the ball, I think, as well as anybody in this league, and, we're going to open it up a lot this year, including tonight. So we're looking for a great offensive performance today.
Do you think we could see a high-scoring game?
I think we can. Miami's always got that threat with Woodley and his receivers, and I think we've got that threat now, too, to be able to open up a ball game and have a good offensive showing.
Okay. Thank you, Larry, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll be back with more halftime activities right after this.
Clean water, more precious to life than oil. But it too is becoming scarce because of man's pollution. But now there's something that's helping to clean water all over the world. A unique wastewater treatment system made possible by this special plastic developed by Phillips Petroleum. There are other energy sources besides oil, but there's no substitute for water. Caring for your car and more. That's performance from Phillips Petroleum.
The Toyota diesel truck delivers at both ends. Up front, the Toyota diesel gives you extra dependability with 2 batteries for more starting power, a rugged 2.2-liter diesel engine, and of course that great diesel mileage. Are you comfortable? And back here, you get the Toyota name so you know it's built tough. The Toyota diesel truck delivers at both ends. Hey, we've got you coming and going! Diesel!
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, downbeat style. Whether it's jazz, classical, country, or rock, music and Michelob is always the perfect arrangement. Because that smooth and mellow taste helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Larry Seifel said in our interview that it could be a high-scoring game, and it is. Lions 21, the Dolphins 7. You know, every week in the Orange Bowl during a Dolphin game, you can find up to 76,000 fans in the stands. Some who are there on a regular basis, week in and week out, and some who are occasional viewers of the action on the Orange Bowl turf. Well, last week during the Denver game, Tim Foley introduced me to one of those fans who was there almost every week. And now, we introduce that fan to you. Make no mistake about it, football is an emotional game. It is so for the players, the coaches, and the fans. But you know, sometimes I think it's more so for the fans than anybody else.
Whether I agree or disagree, it's my job to cheer and not boo.
From the purist viewpoint, there is probably no better definition of what a fan is. Dolores Berwick fits the mold perfectly. Dolores, how did you become such a fan?
I really think it was a natural evolution from basketball in Philadelphia to football here, out at the University of Miami. I have been to every game since 1954 at the university. And in 68, I became a Dolphin fan, and in 70, I really became an avid Dolphin fan with the arrival of Coach Shula.
Dolores is not only a football fan, but an informed and knowledgeable one.
It has become a chess game. As the years go on, I enjoy it more.
You say a chess game, can you kind of elaborate?
It is not a game of strictly brute force. It's a thinking man's game now.
You call it a thinking man's game. You're
Yes.
a woman in a man's world. Is that kind of, do you feel uncomfortable in that world now?
Not at all. Not at all. I would love to see a female coach.
It may take as long for the establishment to accept a female pro football coach as it did for them to recognize women with anything other than a slightly passive involvement in the game. Dolores is anything but passive. She's
very emotional about the game. Extremely emotional.
Oh, my!
I had laryngitis today because of the game Saturday night. Made my own cuts at the game. Wouldn't miss it for anything. I'm just trying to figure out who isn't going to be here on Tuesday.
Last year, Dolores wrote a dissertation to the Herald explaining why she should be chosen as one of their super fans. This year, she kept it simple. This year, she was one of their 6 selections.
Knowing the fan that you have been for the last 13 years, can you be objective?
I think so.
I think a lot of people would disagree with you.
I think so. I would really disagree with several of the moves that have been made. Trades, 9 signings, signings, whatever.
And whatever Dolores is, she is analytical about her team as well as her emotions.
Right up the middle!
How do you feel after a loss?
Devastated. For a full week.
After a win?
Exhilarated. Super.
Let's get a little analytical.
Okay.
Tell me about the Dolphins of 81. What do you think?
I think the team is going to surprise a lot of other teams. The tight end situation seems to be resolving itself. Offensive line seems to be coming through, and I have nicknamed the defensive line myself as the Killer Bees.
How'd you come up with that one?
Bo Camper, Betters, Baumhauer, and on occasion Barnett.
The past with Dolores is a constant reminder of what once was. The good years, the good players, the exciting moments. And they are part of her everyday life. However, with the good comes the bad, followed by the ugly, and then that Jets fan.
He obviously was wired with something. I don't know what it was. And rather than bring myself down to his level, I just decided to throw my entire container of Coca-Cola on him, at which time his clothes were soaked and sticky, and he left, never to return.
I guess you might say it's too bad Dolores had to waste that Coke on that Jets fan. Anyway, she's got two dogs in her house, one by the name of Shula, one by the name of Zonka, and I asked her how Zonka got his name. She said when they first got him, he ran into doors, he ran into everything in the house. He always ran up the middle, never ran around the end. We are at halftime, Lions 21, the Dolphins 7. We'll be back right after this.
Strike up the band. It's year-end clearance time at King Oldsmobile. That means 800 brand new 1981 Oldsmobiles must go. Take your pick. Cutlass Supremes, Omegas, Delta 88s. 800 great deals are waiting for you at King, and one of them is yours right now. Join the march to the greatest savings of the year at King Oldsmobile. King Oldsmobile, US 1 and Sunrise, Fort Lauderdale. Save now.
This fall, for the first time, you'll be invited inside the world of show business. Each weekday, you'll get the latest entertainment news, plus interesting information about new movies, TV shows, the theater, and events as they happen, the day they happen. Facts about show business and the people behind the scenes. Starting September 14th, you'll get it straight, and you'll get it first from Entertainment Tonight.
Thank you, Larry Sugarman, for your fine efforts during the halftime. And also our appreciation to Larry Seifel for being with us. And also along those same lines, I'd like to pass along regards from Trudy Seifel, really the better half of that Seifel duo I ran into last night. And she's got a lot of her former friends back in South Florida. And Trudy, of course, misses them very much and wishes them well. We've got a 21-7 contest here. The Detroit Lions on top of the Miami Dolphins. I see up on the scoreboard they are promoting the September 16th showdown, Thomas Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard, the big welterweight championship fight. But I'll tell you what, in this town, you wouldn't get many takers on Sugar Ray. This is hitman Tommy Hearns' hometown, and they love him here, no doubt about that. We're just minutes away from getting the second half underway. Steve Toll, in case you missed it, former Dolphin, was thrown out in the first half for coming off the bench. Tim, Steve's kind of fighting for a position up here, and I'm not sure if that's the kind of thing that will go over well with Monty Clark, or perhaps he'll like that.
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to maybe he's trying to get a fight with Tommy Hearns. I'm not sure, but that certainly isn't a good thing for Steve at this time. But he's an emotional guy, and he gets excited, and I don't think he was involved in the fight. He just kind of got out there in the field.
Well, next Friday night, be sure to join us here on TV 10 when the Dolphins take on the Kansas City Chiefs at the Orange Bowl. We'll have exclusive same-day coverage of that game on Friday night at 11:30. right after Newswatch here on South Florida's sports station. There you see the one and only TV 10 out of Miami, and our thanks to those fans who brought along their banners, and we wish them well too. Hope they enjoy the contest tonight here in Pontiac, Michigan. And now with the Miami Dolphins trotting out, and they'll be kicking off. I see Uwe von Schaumann heading out on the field with the tee and the ball, and the Detroit Lions will be receiving to start this second half. Bring back to the microphone Kurt Gowdy. Kurt.
Thank you, Chuck. Uwe von Schaumann. The Lions drafted 2 wide receivers as their number 1 and 2 picks. And the reason for that was Mark Nichols was the number 1 pick. They had a number 2 pick as a lineman, then a number 4 pick was Terry Porter. He's in there now. Was to try and get some outside speed to help open up matters for Billy Sims. They didn't think their passing game was open enough. And to take the pressure off Sims. The kick is coming down to the goal line to Alvin Hall. He got to the 10, finds a track up to the 20, squirts away and is dropped to the 28-yard line. The tackle is made by Ed Taylor. And Bruce Hardy also going down to help on the kickoff coverage. So it's Detroit's ball now. First down on their own 28.
Kurt, going into this game, Don Shula was looking for a team that would test his Dolphin defense more against the rush. He felt that 20 times that the Minnesota Vikings ran the ball against him and the 20 or so times that the Denver Broncos ran the ball against him wasn't enough to give him a true indication about his defense. Well, he's getting an opportunity to see the rush tonight.
I'd say so. We probably will not see Billy Sims in the second half. Rick Kane and Bo Robinson are the running back. Jeff Comlow now is the quarterback. And a handoff straight through is Bo Robinson on a quick hitter to the 36-yard line. Taken there by Mike Kozlowski. Sims had a very impressive first half, as he did last week in the Lions' second preseason game of the season. Getting up slowly is Homer Elias, the left guard. This is what a coach hates to see in his preseason game. Starting left guard from Tennessee State in his 4th year.
He's played well today, too. He's opened up some nice holes over the middle, and you know, linemen usually don't get much exposure unless they're caught holding, but that young man has done a nice job tonight.
Ed Taylor's in now in the Miami backfield. So is Fulton Walker. Small is out. Don McNeil is out. Steve Shull is in replacing Ernie Rowan. They're starting a substitute on defense. We have Ken Poole in there, number 91, in the line. Fumble, scramble. Miami may have it.
Let's go the other way here.
Let's see who has it. It's Miami's ball. It looks like Tom Henderson came up with it. Henderson on it, and the Dolphins get a big break here early in the 3rd quarter.
Just confusion in the handoff. The running back never gets the ball, and now it starts. That's when they start wishing the ball is around. They don't know where it's going to go now. Grab it, Steve.
Well, that's our first fumble in the game that's been lost by either team. The Miami backfield will have David Woodley at quarterback, Eddie Hill and Andre Franklin as a running back. Woodley played the 1st quarter. Don Strock the 2nd quarter. Woodley failed to move him in the 1st period. That couldn't be Woodley's fault. The Detroit defense might have had something to do with it. But he had trouble with the pass rush. This time he has protection. Out to Eddie Hill, and he can't hold on to it. It wasn't an easy catch. Gary Cobb was backpedaling within the left linebacker. Don Sewell.
Kurt, you have mentioned before on many occasions this season that David Woodley needs to learn to feather the ball occasionally. There was an opportunity. He had his receiver behind the defensive man. He needed to feather it over the top. Instead, he tried to lay it in on a line, made the catch just a bit too difficult for Hill.
Well, any quarterback will say that was catchable, though. If it's around him, they should catch it.
Right.
Bailey and Cephalo are the wide receivers. Elmer Bailey's 88, Cephalo's 81. There they are. They're getting to him. The pass is high over the head of Eddie Hill. Flag is down. Flag is dropped on that play. And also a flag was dropped in the backfield. Dan White's disturbed, number 52. He came over last year for an 8th-round draft pick. What a year he had.
Personal foul on a defense, holding on the offense.
Offsetting penalty. Personal foul on the Lions, holding on the Dolphins. No play, and we'll line up with 2nd down and 10 to go. The Dolphins on the Lion 36. 21-7's our score. Lions ahead. 13:56 to play in the 3rd period. I'll never forget going some while ago before Monty Clark moved out to San Francisco to the party they had in Fort Lauderdale by the Fort Lauderdale Dolphins Boosters Club to honor the offensive line of your Super Bowl team.
They had a great offensive line, probably one of the best offensive lines ever put together.
Giaquino and the rookie Tommy Vigorito are in the Dolphin backfield now. 2nd down, 10. Woodley down the middle. He's there. And it's a touchdown to Tommy Vigorito. Vigorito, the rookie from Virginia, scores.
Heck of a throw. Heck of a throw. He laid that one in there, as you were talking about.
Perfect pass by David Woodley.
Good protection here. Good protection. They keep those linemen out. He gets it up over the top. It's a man-to-man coverage. Tommy's behind him. Makes a nice catch.
He beat Wayne Smith, the left cornerback. Watch this other angle now, Jimmy.
This is the nickel defense. And watch Vigorito's concentration on the ball. He's got to go back up over the defensive back, pulls it in, and I think he's excited.
Well, he's trying to make this ball club and the National Football League, and that didn't hurt him because he can catch the ball out of the backfield and he can run it.
You know, an interesting stat on him is he carried the ball something like 300 times in a row at Virginia without fumbling. So he's got good hands.
Von Schauman's extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So the Dolphins on a 36-yard pass play from Woodley to the rookie Tommy Vigorito have now made it the Detroit Lions 21 and the Miami Dolphins 14. And right now, let's take a break.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend. Good eating style. The special of the week for gourmet's delight. Here's how to add a little weekend flavor to any dish. Serve with generous portions of Michelob, because that smooth and mellow taste helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
If your car keeps running even after you stop, maybe your car needs the gas with guts. New Gulf Super Unleaded helps stop dieseling, knocking, and dinging because it's one of the highest octane unleaded gasolines you can buy. New Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts.
Von Schauman will kick off to either Alvin Hall or Tracy Porter. Both rooks. A high boot. Hall on the 8. Comes up to the 15. 20. And is hit just as he started to go somewhere by number 49 of the Dolphins. That's the rookie William Judson. A 23-yard return.
That thing had opened up. He was on the way. Judson came back and made a beautiful play, but there was a gap in the Miami coverage on that particular play, and if he hadn't made that one, that would have been a long time before that man had stopped running.
Detroit's ball, own 31. Jeff Comlow, Delaware, the quarterback, Bo Robinson and Rick Kane are the running backs. They hop into the I formation. The pitch is to Rick Kane. Kane is tackled. And he goes down there. Ken Poole hit him there. Spot the ball at the 32 of the Lions. 2nd down, 9. The leading ground gainer of the first half was, of course, Billy Sims. Carried it 10 times, 51 yards, an average of 5. He's on the bench now. He won't probably play the second half unless something dramatic happens here. The leading ball carrier for the Dolphins, Tony Nathan with 13 yards. Lions had a big edge in the statistics in the first half. They gained 168 net yards to 84 for Miami, doubling it. Miami output. Fumble! Fumble by Rick Kane. And number 55 down there, Ernie Rome. We can't tell who's on it. They're all protecting their position as they untangle. And I believe Miami has recovered. It's 73, Bob Baumhauer. Ernie Rome, 55, and Kozlowski came up with it, number 40. Mike Kozlowski came up with it.
Watch it here. Baumhauer comes off the block. He sure looks like he's getting held a little bit and just punches the ball out. And Koz comes up with it.
Mike Kozlowski, number 40.
Bacon, who's got the bacon?
The Lions dump it over twice here early in the third quarter. Miami now on the Detroit. 37, first down. Lions just fumbled. Miami took over in the Detroit, 36, and the Dolphins scored. Woodley. Eddie Hill, 35, down to the 33-yard line. Gary Cobb nailed him. A gain of 4. Second down, 6 for Miami. Bruce Hardy checks in, and Duriel Harris goes out. Hardy's 84. He's caught a touchdown pass tonight.
Well, there you see David Woodley calling his troops together. He's going to see a lot more action tonight. Obviously, going to try to get as much work in here in the second half as possible. Don Shula still wanting to give David Woodley all the preseason work he can to get him more experience.
They have a double tight end set up with only one wide receiver, and that's Nat Moore. Eddie Hill and Andre Franklin, the setback. Andre Franklin pounds to the 31-yard line of the Lions. Just 2 yards. It's 3rd and 4. Wayne Smith, the left cornerback. Veteran left tackle Joe Ehrman refused to yield. Passing in the first half, Miami had 9 out of 10. Strock was 7 out of 8. What is he now? The last 2 games, he is 13 out of 14 passing attempts, Don Strock. He played the second quarter. Danielson in the first half was 7 out of 11. Bill Gay replaces Dave Turifoy at left end. William Gay of USC defensively for the Lions. This is a 3rd down and 4 play on the Lion 31. They're going to run for it. Eddie Hill trying to slither through, maybe close to the first down. He was dropped by Gary Cobb, the left linebacker, now playing in place of Charlie Weaver. We're going to have a measurement in the Silverdome.
What do you think, Tim?
You know I don't get involved in that kind of stuff. Now, you make the call, and I'll tell you one thing. Kuchenberg is in there, and Bob's got a bad neck. And he's showing a lot of guts being out there on the football field. It just goes to show you that's the kind of leadership the Dolphin offensive unit has.
They have the first down.
And he made sure they gave him the first down. That's it, Cooch.
Miami's ball on the Lions' 27-yard line. 11 minutes to play in the third quarter. It's 21-14 Detroit.
Tim, we got a buddy of yours up here in the booth with us, Morris Satowski from the Pro Golf Tour, who's playing in the Buick Open up here. Doing well, got even par going in the final round.
That's it, baby. Morris, you're going to work on my backswing right after this is over.
I just told him keep his head down.
Better work on your swing. First down. Woodley fakes the hill. Scrambles. He's hit and dumped at the 35. Joe Ehrman. That's Ehrman's 3rd sack of the game. Joe Ehrman, number 74, poured in the left tackle.
Now I really wonder what the Colts have.
They're supposed to have come up, I read the other day, with 2 or 3 young defensive players. You know, it wasn't long ago that they had one of the best young front fours in the business, the Sack Pack. Remember them?
Right.
They were terrific. Suddenly, they're all gone.
They used to practice against us sometimes. One guy they do have up there is David Shula. He's hanging in there. He's a receiver, and he's catching the ball, and looks like he's going to make it.
Second down, 18 yards to go for the Dolphins from the Lion 35. The Aquino's on the field. Woodley tosses it wide open. Vigorito. Vigorito to 15. He has a first down at the 13. Vigorito, the rookie who had just scored on a 36-yard pass play for a touchdown, comes out of that backfield again and had to be tackled deep by Jimmy Allen, the free safety.
Tim, I think if you'll take a look at this one on the replay, you're going to see how unhappy Stan White is, and there's good reason for it. Stan White was a little caught out of position that time.
That was a nice read by Vigorito. That's an option. He's got a choice. He can break it outside or inside. Took it inside, made a nice reception there against that Lions coverage, which was a zone that particular time.
Young Mr. Vigorito has caught the ball 3 times tonight for 65 yards. Pretty good average.
That's not bad.
Double tight end setup. Hill and Andre Franklin. Eddie Hill has it, running the sweep. Cuts to the 10. 8 to the 7 of Miami, of Detroit, where Jimmy Allen brought him down, the free safety. Some help from behind by Gary Cobb and Bill Gay.
Watch Donnie Sewell on this play. He's offensive right tackle, pulls outside, gets a nice job, good lead by the fullback, and he turns it upfield. All you can get.
That gain was for 6. It is 2nd down 4. The Dolphins, trailing 21-14, are on the move again as the Lions have coughed the ball up twice in this 3rd quarter in their own territory. Andre Franklin, and he is hit by Gary Cobb, the left linebacker. 53, and a flag is down.
What happened on that? I'm sorry. What happened on that particular play? The strong linebacker took an inside charge and was able to get in there before anybody got a hat on him. What the Dolphins are doing now, the Detroit Lions are shifting 3 defensive linemen to the weak side. They like to do that to get a pass rush. So the Dolphins are countering that by lining up 2 tight ends on the strong side, which makes for a good strong side running game.
Stan White, he has to make a decision. It's offside against Miami. The play went for nothing. They can decline the penalty, and the Dolphins would lose it down. That's Monty Clark with his arms folded. Offside against John Giesler is declined. The Dolphins lose it down. They still have the ball on the Lions 7. It's 3rd down and 4 to go for a 1st down. 8:24 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Bailey and Daryl Harris, wide men out. 3rd and 4. Woodley on the run with a 5, and that's all. Ken Fanchetti pursued him across field. And also Jimmy Allen, the free safety, number 40.
David does this so well. Sets up in the pocket, tries to get deep outside, but the defense does a good job in driving him deep. Now they start to converge on him as he approaches and crosses the line of scrimmage, and gain of 1.
We'll have the field goal attempt. This will be a 23-yarder by Uwe von Schaman. Don Strock is holding. And that kick is good. So the Dolphins creep closer. They were trailing 21-7 at halftime. They have scored 10 points here in the 3rd quarter. And with 7:33 to play in this quarter, it is now the Lions 21 and the Dolphins 17.
If you miss Newswatch 10 this week, you miss the news.
Reporter Wyatt Andrews uncovered the legal but questionable distribution of Quaaludes by some South Florida stress clinics. Newswatch traveled to Atlanta for the latest on the legal fight to free jailed Cuban refugees, and we brought you live coverage of Tropical Storm Dennis' arrival in South Florida and told you of the problems he left behind. Newswatch 10, your first and last word in news.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, California style. In California, they don't follow trends, they set them. So people out here don't wait for the weekend to have a Michelob. They enjoy that smooth and mellow Michelob taste whenever and wherever they please.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
Detroit Lion mistakes. 2 fumbles have allowed the Dolphins to get back into this game, Tim.
Yeah, well, one was a mistake. The other one kind of got knocked out of there. See, you can look at that as an offensive mistake or as a good play by the defense, but there's no question about it. They left the ball on the ground twice. Offensively, you don't want to do that too many times.
Here's von Schauman's kick. Alvin Hall fumbles in the end zone and wisely grounds it for the touchback.
Kurt, last week, Uwe von Schaumann told me he had gone to a weight training program to try to strengthen his leg to improve his kickoffs. And I think you see a good example there of the results he's getting. He drove that one about 3 yards deep.
That was a deep kick. The previous kickoff I liked, though, was the high one that came to the goal line but had real hang time up there. And those white-shirted Dolphins were all downfield. By the way, we have a penalty marker at the 25 of Detroit.
You know which way that one's going. Those Lions are retreating.
That was the illegal block by the receiving team above the waist at the 10-yard penalty.
Oh, the old illegal block trick. You got to watch out for that.
I think he meant below the waist.
Yeah, I think he did, too.
It's early in the preseason, and the officials, by the time the regular season rolls around, they'll have most of the rules right, won't they, Tim?
Yeah, right. You got to get Art McNally. Throw a flag on him. He's the head of the officials.
You can't block above the waist anymore in those returns.
No, below the waist.
Don't listen to that guy, Kurt. He told you wrong. Below the waist. Right?
I mean, below the waist. What am I talking about? I was trying to write something down. They just handed me the attendance as I was talking. 56,972. There's Bo Robinson carrying the ball up to his 18-yard line. Mike Kozlowski and Ed Taylor hit him. Bo Robinson went to school at West Texas State his third year. What do you have down there, Larry?
Kurt, Tim and I were talking earlier in the day on just how hard these guys hit down here. He was amazed that when he stood on the sidelines that all the punishment these guys took, and he sometimes scratched his head, Tim said, and why do I play this game? Back up to you.
Why does he play it? 2nd and 2. A hitch pass. Leonard Thompson. First down. Out he goes on the 25. Driven out by the rookie cornerback, Fulton Walker.
Tim Walker did a good job on that play, too. He had a lot of blue shirts in front of him, and he was kind of the lone soldier defending the fort.
Watch the offensive lineman coming out, you know, and Fulton saying, I didn't do anything to you. You don't have to do that to me. But he stays on his feet, knocks the guy out of bounds. Nice job.
This young gentleman took a big step towards making this club this past week. The club cut Jeff Allen, and I think that has improved Fulton Walker's chances a great deal.
Fulton Walker's going to make the football team.
First down, Lions on their own 25. Jeff Comlow is the quarterback. Comlow to Rick Kane. Kane is tripped up there by Mike Kozlowski. Steve Shull. Kozlowski, number 40.
Steve Shull has replaced A.J. Dewey in there, and he was blitzing on that particular play, sifted through the interference, and came up with a nice stop.
I want to see Horace King. You guys have been talking about your Wyoming football players last week and the Purdue players this week. We want to see some Georgia Bulldogs in there. How about them?
Well, he hasn't been in there yet, but you've been watching Fantetti all over the field from Wyoming. Second down, 12. Detroit under 23. They have had a very poor third quarter. The Dolphins have outplayed them in this quarter. Comlow heaves it up, and it's intercepted. Fulton Walker, 25, 20, 15, 10. Fulton Walker has the Dolphins in scoring position again as the Lions turnover. There's a flag down on the play.
Are you happy, Fulton? Are you happy? You betcha.
36-yard return, but there's a flag down.
Here's what you talk about feathering it. Now, the flanker is trying to clear this out for this man coming out here in the flat to straw him back, but he didn't clear it out. Fulton read it, came off of his man, came back, made a play on the ball, and he's heading south.
Excellent timing by Fulton Walker. Holding against the Lions, declined by the Dolphins. That's the third turnover of the third quarter by Detroit. Miami's ball, first down, 9.5 to go for a touchdown.
Defense, right? That's what the scoreboard would be saying in Miami.
21-17, Lions leading. 5:48 to go in the third quarter. Eddie Hill, he nearly dropped it. Hill to the 5, into the 4, and there's a flag down. A fumble at the end of the play. Curtis Green number 62 on top of it. He's the rookie from Alabama State that has been the most impressive new player for the Lions in summer camp. Jimmy Allen, number 40.
I see some blue jerseys patting the officials on the back,
Yeah,
so I assume
he was
it's
one of
penalties
them.
against the Dolphins.
He led the applause.
Illegal use of the hands on the offense. Decrying a penalty. It's first
Tim, anytime you see those players giving the officials a pat on the back, it's a pretty good sign it's not against their club.
That's for sure. Now, here's the replay, and Detroit keeps shifting the line weak side, so the Dolphins are running strong side, and they have a nice game here. Whoop! Out the back door.
That hit was by Doug English to cause the fumble. It'll be first down, Lions deeper in their territory. We'll be back with the score, Lions 21, Dolphins 17.
Here comes the car repair service we guarantee you like. Amico Certicare. You get trained and certified mechanics, guaranteed. You get a written estimate before any work begins, guaranteed. Our Certicare mechanics work with advanced equipment, guaranteed. And you get this Certicare guarantee on all parts and labor, guaranteed.
And I guarantee this guarantee.
Certicare at Amico Certicare.
Hello, please don't get up. I'm Richard Dawson, the host of Family Feud. And when family teams fight for big cash prizes, look out. They'll do almost anything to win. And me, I usually get caught in the middle. So watch Family Feud and just see what happens, okay?
Everybody's playing the Family Feud. Weeknights at 7:30 here on TV 10.
Come on!
That hard that time. Okay.
There's the passing yardage in the game. The Lions hold a wide edge in running. That was a second turnover by the Dolphins. The Lions have had 4 turnovers, 3 in this quarter. It's first down on the 3-yard line of the Lions. That's Bo Robinson, and he's hit. He was tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by Steve Scholl, number 52, the second-year player from William & Mary. It's on the 4-yard line of Detroit, 2nd and 9.
Sports announcers for Dolphin football have been selected by and compensated by WPLG TV, and any broadcast, retransmission, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this telecast without the express written consent of Post-Newsweek stations of Florida is strictly prohibited.
Tom Lowe had a full year 2 years ago, and Danielson went down with a bad knee. He's mostly a short passer. Rick Kane out, not much. They'll have third down now with the ball on their 9-yard line. 3rd and 4 for the Lions. Rick Kane, a 5th-year back from San Jose State. Ken Poole on that last hit.
Steve Scholl has made a couple of nice plays in a row, and the play before this, he pursued laterally beautifully and then headed upfield, and he met the offensive player on the offensive player's side of the line of the scrimmage. That's how you're supposed to play linebacker.
Bo Camper's at right end. They're in a 4-down line position. Flag is down. The heave wide open. Coming in number 89 is Tracy Porter. They have the first down unless the penalties against the Lions. 2 flags were dropped as the ball was snapped. Steve Scholl made the hit on the play.
I think the Lions were in motion on that play, but it was a neat pattern. They had 2 people from the weak side clearing out for the receiver that came across the field and made the catch eventually, but it was against the Detroit Lions.
That wipes out the first down. We'll move the ball back to the 4.5-yard line of the Lions and make it 3rd down and 9. They have not been out of their own territory in this 3rd quarter.
Offense, illegal motion.
Miami scored the only points in this quarter, 10 points. The Lions had a 21-7 lead at halftime. But it's been a stumbling offensive machine in the second half. Dragged down by their own mistakes, 3 turnovers. 3rd down, 9. Out of the end zone, Kumlo. Here's a first down. They let him get away. That's little Leonard Thompson scooting around. He caught that ball right over the middle, eluded the tackle, and went for the first down to the 15-yard line of the Lions.
Well, I tell you what, I told you they're going to like that play because that's the same play, but it's going the other way. They figured if it worked on one side, let's try it the other way. And you got to make the tackle here. The man makes if he makes the tackle there, they don't get the first down. But Thompson breaks the tackle. Nice play, first down.
What's he do on that play? Sort of floats around and waits and then cuts right over the middle. A delayed cut.
That's right. That's exactly right.
First down. Lions on the 15 in their own territory. They're leading 21-17. Just over 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Tomlo unloads it. Complete. Out of bounds. Tracy Porter, the rookie. Fourth round pick of LSU. He averaged over 20 yards a catch last year in his senior year.
Tim, give Comlo a lot of credit on that ball. That was a well-thrown football.
Right, and he gets a face full of Bob Baumhauer here. But he lets it go. Hello. 34. Beautifully thrown.
Well, Tracy Porter and the other rookie, the #1 draft pick, Mark Nichols, who's out with a shoulder injury, will be battling for starting jobs maybe, or we'll see a lot of action this year for the Lions. They're trying to get some speed outside to give Billy Sims more of a... Mo Robinson, the running back. Fumbles. Miami recovers. The third fumble of the quarter by the Lions. And the fourth turnover. They had an intercepted pass, the Dolphins did. Ernie Roan forced that one. So once again, the Dolphins are handed the ball in Lion territory in this quarter.
After Detroit, 41.
3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. The Dolphins have another great chance to score. Last time they went down to the 9.5-yard line of the Lions' first down, and they fumbled.
Kurt, I'd like to take the opportunity, if I could, to wish the Fort Lauderdale Strikers soccer team well tomorrow night. They open up their playoff bid against the Calgary club. They'll be in town at Lockhart Stadium, 8 o'clock kickoff. Strikers, despite the fact that most of them are from overseas in Europe, they have quite a few Miami Dolphin fans. They enjoy watching American football and enjoy watching the Dolphins play, and have quite a few of them come up and question me quite often as to how the Dolphins are going to do and who's going to play well. So we wish them well. Channel 10, incidentally, is the official University of Miami Hurricane station, so join us for the season opener when the Hurricanes go head-to-head with the Texas Longhorns. Catch all the action here live on September 26th at 8 p.m. on the one and only TV 10 South Florida Sports Station.
I guarantee you, David Woodley likes the field position he's getting in this half much better than he liked the field position he got in the first half.
Let's watch the replay on this last fumble, Tim.
Well, Detroit had something going. They had good movement on the line. The guard turned upfield and cleared it out. And here comes the Scarecrow. Brzezinski, I guess, is the one that pulls it out. Nice job.
He ripped it right out of his arms.
That's good, intelligent football right there. The running back is going down. Do what you can to get the ball on the turf.
Miami's ball on the 41-yard line of the Lions. So Miami's taken over on the Lion 36 after a fumble. They scored on a pass play. They took over on Lion 37, and they got a field goal out of that. And now they're on the Lion 41 after another fumble. Woodley to Eddie Hill. Hill has a big hole. He's inside the 35 to the 33. A flag is down. We could either have a clip or a holding.
On the play.
Ken Fantetti, the middle linebacker, was the tackler, and is going against the Dolphins.
Well, it was nice to see him come right back to Eddie Hill, Tim, after he made the mistake earlier in the previous opportunity for the Dolphins. They come right back, give it to him.
Most running backs are going to leave the ball on the ground.
Holding.
They just
Number
take too severe a beating to hold onto it, and sometimes it just gets hit the wrong way, and zippity-doo-dah, out it comes.
Mark Dennard, the center, held. Miami's been penalized 5 times, 33 yards tonight. The Lions 10 times for 99 yards. And several have been declined by the Dolphins. So it's 1st and 20 now for Miami. Robisky is in as running back, along with Eddie Hill. First and 20.
Here they come.
Just as he let the ball go, he was hit. They had a big rush on him.
Well, he had a tight end standing all alone down about the 20-yard line. Ronnie Lee was well behind everybody.
That was a strong safety blitz. A strong safety was coming on that particular play, and the offensive line did a nice job. Gave him some time, but he got his arm hit just as he released the ball.
Joe Rose comes into the game, Tommy Vigorito and Elmer Bailey. Second and 20, and everybody in the Silverdome looking for a pass. 21-17. Detroit ahead. 2:50 to go in the third quarter. As a summary of the penalties, which have been many tonight. They better clean up their act when the regular season opens. 3 wide receivers for the Dolphins. He has time. There he is. He's down there. Oh. No interference. Duriel Harris covered by James Hunter, who 5 years ago was a #1 draft pick by the Lions out of Grambling College.
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm picking on David Woodley, but if he throws that ball to the outside shoulder, that's 6 points.
That's for sure. I'm sure that he wished it was farther outside, but it's not a bad throw. Hunter did a nice job. Duriel was covered. He wasn't open. But Duriel does a great job going up for the ball, and I'm sure that's what Woodley was counting on at that particular point in time.
Matt Moore checks in for Duriel Harris. 3rd and 20 for the Dolphins. 2:44 to play in the third quarter. Out they go. Right down the middle. Joe Rose falls forward. He has a first down. Jimmy Allen hit him, number 40. But Joe Rose, the second-string tight end of California, drafted 7th last year, made a very fine catch.
And this is a good throw by Woodley. He puts this ball right on the money, right in between the zones.
This is a gutsy throw. Get it that much air under the ball when you're throwing it down the middle. And it's gutsy to go up after it, too, because you know you're going to receive some punishment.
First down. That was a big pass play for them. They had 3rd and 20, and they made it. Eddie Hill. Hill to the 20-yard line before he's toppled by Ken Fantetti. Fantetti has made tackles tonight all over the field. Woodley here in this third quarter has attempted 6 passes, completed 3 for 81 yards.
Tim, how do you like this acceleration?
Hits it up inside. Nice job. The offensive linemen are influencing a little bit to get the defensive lineman to rush outside, and Eddie Hill pops it in over the middle.
He accelerated right by the camera.
Sure did. Our cameraman's still looking for him.
Second down 2. Miami on the Lion 20. 21-20-17. 21-17, Lions ahead as Purifoy, Cobb on that play. Andre Franklin back in the game, now goes out again. It's on the 23-yard line after the loss, and a 3rd and 5.
Detroit was blitzing on that play, and Cobb just beat the blocker inside. Stan White was coming from the strong side. Let's see whether they're going to blitz this time or play coverage.
3rd and 5 for Miami on the Lion 23. They have a blitz on. Duriel Harris catches the ball for a first down on the 7-yard line, and he turned that left corner around, Wayne Smith. And he really had nimble feet along that sideline.
Tim, you said, let's see if they play the coverage or if they come, and they were coming, and Woodley read it. Woodley read it perfectly, threw the ball before Duriel made the cut, and when Duriel made the cut, all he had to do was look up and catch the football.
Now watch these offensive linemen, Newman, Dennard, Kuchenberg, and Giesler, and Sewell out there. Give him the time to throw the ball, and when Duriel's got time, that young man's going to get open.
It is first down, goal to go. A final, New England 23, Oakland 21. Third quarter, Tampa Bay 20, Houston 10. First and goal to go for the Dolphins. Terry Robisky stopped at the 6-yard line by the left cornerback, Wayne Smith, and the left linebacker, Gary Cobb. We may be down to the last play of the third quarter.
Detroit defense does a nice job here. See the linebacker fighting it upfield. Terry really never has a chance to turn it upfield toward the goal line. They kept him going laterally.
There's the gun. That's the end of the third quarter in the Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan. A third quarter that was dominated by the Dolphins. The Lions never got into Miami territory. And the score, the Detroit Lions 21 and the Miami Dolphins 17.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, downbeat style. Whether it's jazz, classical, country, or rock, music and Michelob is always the perfect arrangement, because that smooth and mellow taste helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Put a little weekend in your week.
This fall, for the first time, you'll be invited inside the world of show business. Each weekday, you'll get the latest entertainment news, plus interesting information about new movies, TV shows, the theater, and events as they happen, the day they happen. Facts about show business and the people behind the scenes. Starting September 14th, you'll get it straight, and you'll get it first from Entertainment Tonight.
This is Kurt Gowdy, Chuck Dowdle, Tim Foley. As we begin the fourth quarter, 21-17, the Lions ahead. And let's go down to Larry.
Kurt, earlier in the game, you'll recall that Steve Toll got kicked out of the game. Well, he is on the sidelines, dressed and ready to go. I don't know exactly what the ruling is when a player gets kicked out, whether he's banished just from the field or from the stadium or whatnot. Maybe you can clarify that for me.
They banish him from the kingdom. No, he's on the sidelines and dressed, but he's missing an important element of his uniform, and that's his helmet. Probably won't play without it.
We never really got official word that he was kicked out, but he came out on the field as a 12th man and tried to make a tackle after a couple of roughing penalties were called on each team, all at the same time, just before the conclusion of the first half.
Tell you what, Steve Tolles always struck me, though, as the kind of individual, if they'd have let him, he'd try to play without it. Anything to get in there. Steve certainly is one of the men who's always shown a lot of enthusiasm.
We're going into the fourth quarter. 2nd and 6 for a touchdown for the Dolphins that could put them in front. Eddie Hill to the 5. Powers his way almost to the goal line. He stays in bounds at the 1-yard line and was taken down by Gary Cobb and Wayne Smith. So at the third coming on the 1-yard line of the Lions. 3rd and 1 for a touchdown.
You're going to watch this again. You're going to see Ronnie Lee doing a nice job blocking, and Eddie Newman, the guy that bench presses 500 pounds, and you don't want to get his way too much, out in front. Head toward the goal line. That's a good job of running.
Eddie Hill traded by the Rams over to the Dolphins, and if the Dolphins like what they see and keep him, then they have a deal worked out for next year. Double tight end offense. Crowd roaring defense. And that is Terry Robisky trying to score. He didn't make it. Lions have come up with the ball. Stan White, the whistle blew. But I believe the whistle was already blown when Terry Robisky ran into the line. And they're sending Andre Franklin into the game with a signal. Don Strock yelled something out to him. They're not going for the field goal. They have less than a yard to go for a touchdown on 4th down.
Oh, this one it gets fun, Tim. See what they've got up front.
Andre Franklin and Terry Robisky are the running back. The Lions fans yelling, hold them. They're roaring like it's a regular season game. Franklin, and he is over. Andre Franklin, number 37 from Nebraska, drafted in the 2nd round. Mostly a blocker, University of Nebraska. Been running powerfully from that fullback position in preseason, and he has sent the Dolphins out in front.
Pretty good hole. The left side of that Dolphin line opens up.
Good movement. You knew Franklin was going to get the ball. Shula wants to see what this guy can do in short yardage, and he's in standing up. Great hole. Good job by Kuchenberg, Giesler, Dennert in there. Hey, way to knock him off the ball.
Arnsberger and Shula. Talk it over. 23-21. Von Schaman trying to make it 24-21, and he does. So the Dolphins have stopped the Lions in the second half. They've held them scoreless because of Lion mistakes, fumbles, and interceptions. And the Dolphins have picked up 17 points in this second half. And we're going to have a commercial break here. 13:28 to play now, and Miami is in the lead.
Well, you can give it to your girl or share it with the squirrel. Buy it by the case and pour it in your face. Headaches, a topping of tomorrow. Headaches, a new kind of taste. Headaches, they got it full of flavor. 'Cause new L8 is from another place. New L8 is here.
What puts Fava Olympia in a jump ahead? Stability and brightness and fun. Fava Olympia for boys and girls, guys and gals. Now a special $13 at Fava. An incredible price for all that comfort and support. Just $13 for easygoing man-made suede Olympia. $13 for high-performance shock-absorbing Olympia in nylon and suede. Fava Olympia for whatever you're up to.
Okay, you're going to see something on this kickoff I've never seen in the NFL before. A quarterback on the kickoff team. Jim Jensen's lining up at L4 out there, and he's going to cover this kickoff.
Let's talk about him after this kickoff. He's downfield. Von Schaman's boot goes to Tracy Porter.
Here they come.
Porter's up to the 26-yard line. Now, what are they trying to do with Jim Jensen?
Well, they say in the NFL, the more things you can do, whether it's turning the lights on and off or covering kickoffs, the more things you can do, the better chance of your being around.
Haven't they been working him out as a running back and as a wide receiver now?
Exactly. Last week I was out at practice a couple of days. They were working him at running back. Kind of a strange-looking situation. You see a guy with his size, his height at running back. You see a big guy like that taking handoffs, but that he was doing. They like him as an athlete. He's not the polished quarterback yet that Brad Wright is. But Don Shula is certainly trying to make room for this gentleman because of his athletic ability.
Yeah, he's 212, 6'4", a rookie quarterback from BU, and evidently he doesn't figure in their quarterback plans, but they're trying to get him in there somehow. Vince Thompson, the rookie from Villanova, surges forward 5 yards out to the Lions' 30-yard line. We have John Alford, the rookie of South Carolina State, replacing Baumauer in the middle of the front line now.
The scrap iron does a good job, piles it up there. A.J. Dewey's back in the game.
Second down 5. The Lions trailing 24-21. Calicut, the tailback, in the eye. They fumble the exchange. Flags are down. Miami may have recovered it again.
They're going to start shooting here pretty soon.
Lions haven't had any claws in that ball here in the second half, I can tell you that. Steve Scholl came up with it, number 52. The second-year linebacker from William and Mary. But flags had dropped. Boy, this is a deep discussion.
Isn't it, though?
There's a false start on number 72 before they snap the ball, so they keep the ball.
All right, on the false start, they immediately blow the ball dead. Well, the fumble didn't count. That was Chris Dietrich, the right tackle. And the false start, bang, the whistle blew, and what happened afterwards didn't mean a thing. Miami really recovered the fumble.
I'm glad you knew that rule. That's good.
Well, TV 10 brings you exclusive live television coverage when the Hurricanes blow through Texas, Mississippi State, East Carolina State, FSU, and North Carolina. TV 10 covers the action like no one else, so stay with us.
It is second down and 10 now for the Lions from their 25. They have had 11 penalties tonight. Calicut, the tailback, is cut under by Mike Kozlowski, the safety. Still in there at quarterback, Jeff Comlow. 27-yard line of the Lions. They have a 3rd and 8.
You know, Kurt, we're in an enclosed facility, and you don't think of wind being a problem in an enclosed facility. But this one, the roof is supported by air pressure. And when you're down on the field, you can actually feel a breeze blowing around in there as they pump air in here, and they've got fans circulating it. So you do actually, even though this is an enclosed facility, you do get a little bit of a breeze down on the field.
It's a beautiful facility, as the fans can see, watching in the Miami area. Tomlow's pass into the artificial surface intended for Calicut. They had a big rush on him. Coming hard was A.J. Dewey. 77, it's 4th and 8. And the Lion offense getting booed now. They have done absolutely nothing here in this second half. They have not been in Miami territory. They have not crossed the 50-yard line.
But at least they didn't fumble that time. That's good. This is the first time they punted. At least they made 3 downs.
Well, they fumbled, Tim. They just were fortunate enough to have made a mistake prior to the fumble.
Tom Skladany to punt. Tommy Vigorito is the punt returner. He was an excellent punt returner at the University of Virginia. He did everything there, one of those all-purpose backs. He's caught a touchdown pass tonight. Vigorito watching the ball come into his arms at the 32, 35, the 40, up to the 43-yard line. Covering that kick was Gray. 42-yard punt, an 11-yard return. We'll be back as Miami takes over, and the score is the Miami Dolphins 24, the Detroit Lions 21.
The secret to gasoline is not to buy the most octane, but the right octane.
Jerry Burke talks about gasoline.
With 3 grades, I can satisfy just about any car. But octane isn't the only way you judge gasoline. Dependable gasoline has to start quick and keep your carburetor clean. Those are qualities Exxon puts in all 3 of their gasolines. So whatever grade you buy, it's good.
Exxon has thousands of independent dealers who offer a choice of quality products and services. Jerry Burke is one of them.
These people all have one thing in common besides a happy smile. They all own dependable Toyota Corollas.
This Corolla is the most dependable car I've ever had.
I can rely on it.
We own 4 Corollas right now, so I know they're well built.
Dependability. It's probably one reason the Toyota Corolla is the best-selling car in the world.
Dependable? Our company bought 34 Corollas.
Dependable.
Some of the Lions on the Lion bench.
Kurt, there's some tough decisions coming up for these 2 coaching staffs. Both these clubs have to be down to 50 players by Tuesday. 58 players currently on the rosters for the Lions and 60 players on the Dolphins roster. And I can certainly see where there's some very difficult decisions coming, particularly for Don Shula and his staff.
Well, they don't want to make a mistake. Mistakes have been made every year, and you cut somebody or trade them or put them on waivers, and they come back to haunt you sometime. The pass is no good. Woodley trying to roll out. Uriel Harris was against the sideline at a 2nd down and 10 to go. Miami on their own 42. Time remaining in this game, 11:31.
2nd and 10.
We've got all kinds of scores around the NFL. We got Baltimore leading Washington 7-6 in the second. We've got the Giants on top of the Jets 10-7 in the second. Tampa Bay leading Houston 20-10 in the third. Buffalo on top of Cleveland 10-7 at half. And St. Louis, opener for the Dolphins, and Kansas City tied at 3 in the second.
Yeah, they'll see Mr. O.J. Anderson there in St. Louis in their opening game.
Former Hurricane.
2nd down, 10. That's Terry Robisky to the 49, a 7-yard gain. And he's hit there by number 27, Luther Bradley. 3rd and 3, Miami.
That play was called on the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins line up with a flanker and a tight end to both sides, and just automatic. Call the play at the line of scrimmage to the weak side of the defense. It worked well.
Pardon me, Tim. Andra Franklin replaces Terry Robisky. 3rd and 3. Miami is trying to put on one of those grinding drives of theirs that Shula loves. 15, 18 plays, use up 8 or 9 minutes. Woodley. Bad pass that time. They threw it high and in back of Duriel Harris, who was open. Harris had made a move on Ray Oldham and had put himself in an open area. So now it's 4th down and 3, and we'll have a punt formation with Tom Orez, the rookie, in to do the kicking. Tracy Porter, rookie of LSU, back as a safety man.
Porter feeding to receive for Detroit. Bruce Hardy is snapping for Miami now. Kuchenberg snapped the first several times, and again, I was surprised to see that with the sore neck. Your head kind of sticks out there when you're snapping the ball back 15 yards.
Well, a shank, that one. But again, he gets a nice hop on it. And it is going to be down. It's an effective kick. It didn't look very pretty, but it's an effective kick that's dead on the 11-yard line of the Lions. A 40-yard punt, no return. Anybody will take that. We'll be back from the Silverdome, and there's your score.
It's a lonely kind of job, riding fences, but it's a job that's got to be done. So you get it done right. And then you head for the mountains. Whoosh. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Brewed the natural way, so it's always as smooth as its name. Whoosh.
Now, there's a brand new charcoal you just pour and light. You don't need lighter fluid, ever. Matchlight. Look again. Matchlight lights fast and easy. You don't add a single drop of lighter fluid. New Matchlight from Kingsford. It's the pour and light charcoal because you don't need lighter fluid, ever.
We have 10:34 remaining in this game, and before the Lions take over, let's go down to Larry Sugarman.
Kurt, number 75, Doug Betters, has suffered a pinched nerve in his neck, which probably hurts more than it is serious.
Well, they'll probably have a medical report on him after the game. Right now, the Lions trailing by 3, operating from their 11-yard line. Ken Callicutt was stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and then Steve Scholl came in to put the final hit on him. They'll spot the ball on the Lion 13. It is 2nd down and 8 for Detroit.
Steve Scholl's really playing well, and he's got a lot more to do this year. Last year, they just would let him blitz, but right now, he's running things down there. He's taking the call from the sidelines and doing a fine job.
If the Lions go to a passing game, they'll probably try to work on the Dolphins' right cornerback, the rookie Fulton Walker. McNeil is the other cornerback. Out it goes. There it is. Right in front of Fulton Walker. First down on the 29-yard line. Leonard Thompson caught it.
Where's that crystal ball you got? You've been practicing again.
No? Now you know that. You were a youngster and a young player and a veteran.
Fulton's not in bad shape here. It's his own defense, and he's not supposed to break this one up. He's supposed to get help from the linebacker. He does what he's supposed to do, come in and make the tackle.
Clubs like to work on those youngsters. Sometimes the youngsters fool them.
I haven't been a youngster for so long, I forgot.
That's right. What'd you play, 11 years with the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Tim Foley. Tom Lowe heaving a fly pattern to Hill. What a catch! David Hill. David Hill caught that ball. Mike Kozlowski right on him. That's the catch of the ball game.
That's the play. Okay, we're going to see this play. This is the play that they ran earlier, and Hill fell down. Well, he didn't fall down this time. He was well covered, though, by Mike Kozlowski, who tries to adjust on the ball. Hill stays with the ball all the way in, makes a nice catch.
And this is the first time in the second half that the Lions have been in Dolphin territory. That might wake them up. That's the only big play they've had in this half. First down on the Dolphin 32. 24-21, Miami ahead. Slipping through is Vince Thompson, the rookie fullback. He's inside the 20. He has a first down, and the Lion fans come alive.
Detroit, 1st and 10. Tim, this is good effort here. Good individual effort.
Super job. Steve Schill broke through there, just barely missed the tackle, but then this young man just powered his way down the field. Now they're getting excited.
Lions ball on the Miami 19-yard line. A.J. Dewey's replaced Steve Potter, the linebacking core. There he is again, the rookie. Runs it to the 10-yard line, Vince Thompson, number 38. He's hit there by 45. Ed Taylor. But that gain was for 9 and a second and a yard to go for the Lions.
Second down and 1 at the Miami. This gentleman was cut by Denver back in 1977 when he pulled a hamstring muscle, but he's healthy now. He looks pretty tough.
He's ran 39 yards and 6 carries, better than 6 yards a try. Lions on the Dolphin 10-yard line, second and a yard to go. The Lions are trailing by 3 points. Just under 7 minutes to play. There he is again. He gets away. He has a first down. He's ridden out of bounds by Kim Bokamper at the right end. They had a chance at him behind the line of scrimmage.
Momentum is an interesting thing, isn't it? I mean, a couple of minutes ago, these guys are about to get run out of the stadium. Dave Hill makes a big catch. Now they come to life.
They have a first and goal. Henderson couldn't get it. John Henderson. 56.
Good hustle by Bokamper there. Shows good speed getting to the outside. Makes the play.
Yeah, they had the ball, Tim. You're right. On their own 11, they had shown not one flash of an offense in the second half. They had committed 5 turnovers in this half, and now they've come alive. First and goal to go. Vince Thompson. Thompson is hit down by Ed Taylor. Hey, this fellow's going to make this ball club the way he's running. This rookie, Villanova.
Kurt, I don't know how he's bearing with the roster, with the coaching staff of the Detroit Lions, but he's winning some hearts in the stands here. He's got this crowd excited. They're on their feet now. The Lions knocking down around the 2-yard line, and mostly on this guy's power.
Fulton Walker, it's a tough read for a cornerback, but he needs to step up there and take that back on. And Steve Schill did a nice job coming across.
Second down. 1.5 yards for a Lion touchdown that could put them out in front. Calicut. Oh, they hit him. Then Calicut trying to cut it. Steve Schill really popped him up in the air and knocked him backward a 1/2 yard.
Kid has more intensity than anybody I've seen in a long time. Watch him hit this thing coming upfield. Both Kozlowski and Schill. Boom!
52 is Steve Schill. Third down and 1.5 yards for a touchdown. Lions ball just inside the Dolphin 2. Time in the game, 5:25. 24-21, Miami. Calicut. Short. Can't get it. Ken Calicut, 4th-year player from Clemson. What are they going to do? They're calling Eddie Murray out.
Well, I find this hard to believe, but that's Murray, the place kicker, trotting out. Now Monty Clark's calling him back.
He started out there, and they bring him back. Timeout, Lions. Lions have called a timeout to talk it over. They'll have 4th down and a foot to go for a touchdown.
Now I wonder who's coaching this club.
Monty Clark's coaching it. Those place kickers just automatically want to run out there, you know.
Sure. Nice job again by Steve Cole. Kozlowski coming over the line did a nice job making him jump. Look who's going in the game.
Billy Sims, I said he probably won't be back unless there is a dramatic situation. We now have a dramatic situation.
You and your crystal ball. What are you doing?
Now, what would you do? Would you put Sims in for one play? They may not even give him the ball.
Now, I was going to say, what would be the odds here, maybe, of using him as a decoy?
Good.
You fake the handoff to him, and you hit your fullback with it.
4th down, a foot to go. Billy Sims, who gained 51 yards in the first half. Last week, he gained 72 yards in 1/2. 1,300-yard ball carrier last year in his rookie season. Vince Thompson's there with him.
4th down
Those are two good-looking young running backs. Sims in his second year, Thompson a rookie.
I think they go with Thompson here.
All right. Sims is set to the left. Now he hops back of the tailback in the eye.
Sims.
You call Sims.
Yeah.
You're right. He has the touchdown. Billy Sims scores.
Well, earlier, Tim, we saw Billy Sims leave his feet at about the 3-yard line and spring in. And now it is obvious why they had him in. You saw him get up in the air. He can really sky. Watch this jump.
Beautiful if you're a Lion fan.
That's great effort by both teams right there.
Well, the Lions have retaken the lead. They finally came to life, and they marched 89 yards for the score. The big play, though, was a sensational catch by the tight end over the shoulder, David Hill, of 38 yards to help set it up. Eddie Murray for the kick. The Dolphins are going to have to come back with a drive. It's up, and the kick is no good. Hey! No good.
People count those things as automatic, and every once in a while you goof one up. That's important. That makes the spread 3 points. Now the Dolphins can tie it up with the field goal.
There it is. The Lions 27, Miami 24. We'll have the kickoff by the Lions.
Well, I kind of like this now, Tim. We got some people getting serious about exhibition football. We got Monty Clarkson and then Billy Sims on a 4th down situation on the goal line. I think he wants to beat Don Shula.
I think Monty Clark wants to win any football game he can. He needs to establish a winning attitude on this football team here, and you got to get used to winning.
He said, I'd like to beat my old coach and my best friend. That the best way to gain respect in sports is to beat the other guy. And I want Don Shula's respect. So I'd like to beat him. Let's go down to Larry Sugarman.
Kurt, number 54, Steve Told, on the sidelines here, cheering like mad. It's amazing how fast their loyalties change when the color of their jerseys change.
And the color of the paycheck, too.
Right, yeah, the signature on the paycheck. That's what I was going to say.
That doesn't hurt.
Steve just wants to play. He wants to be a part of this football team. He thinks he can play for somebody, and he feels like he's found a home here. Fits in well into the system. They play a 4-man line, and he's a middle linebacker. And he's going to play here.
And Billy Sims went into the end zone. There were 4:51 to play. This is a fine kickoff. Fulton Walker out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, 25. Flag goes down, and the Dolphins may draw a costly penalty here that would set them back in not too good a field position. A 31-yard return by Fulton Walker. There's the story of that last drive. 89 yards, 10 plays. Billy Sims scoring, and they took 5:43 to do it. They would have liked to have taken about another 2 or 3 minutes.
Gray also on that last
Remember the
tackle.
time the Dolphins in that playoff game in Oakland came back and scored too quickly. They took the ball right down the field in 3 or 4 plays.
Benny Malone
went 30 yards or something for the score, and the Snake had the time to come back.
Well, you guys got to bring that stuff up for.
Well, it was
Can't
a
you think
dramatic
anything
game.
else better to talk about than that?
That was one of the great games, though, Kurt Gavin.
Oh, yeah, it
One
was.
of the great football games of all time.
I'll tell you, I was lucky to have so many of those games, especially they all seem to happen out in Oakland for some reason.
Al Davis wanted them there.
The House of Trills.
I don't think we ever won out there, the Dolphins anyway.
Now, you beat them soundly in Miami, though, for the playoffs. They just put Vince Thompson's figures up there, the rookie, 46 yards. Robisky's in at fullback. David Woodley now will try to bring the Dolphins back. Throws on the run. It's complete to Terry Robisky coming out of the backfield. And they say keep the clock going. He wasn't out of bounds. It's on the 22-yard line. Stan White made the tackle. And Fantetti, they've got the first stringers in there.
Hey, I see Baker in there. They got Stan White still in. They're looking to win this thing, Tim.
Terry was the 3rd man through the zone on that one. The flanker cleared it out, then the tight end. He was the 3rd man through. They would have liked for him to get out of bounds there.
2nd down, 3. Andre Franklin is in at fullback. Woodley quarterback the first period. Don Strock the second. Woodley the entire second half. As they're trying to get him ready for the season opener at St. Louis. Andre Franklin. Franklin stopped short of the 25. He might have nosed to the 25. Joe Ehrman, the left tackle, reached him first. It is now third down and a short yard, about a half yard. They need this first down, or they may have to relinquish the football unless they want to gamble on fourth down in their own territory. Third down, a half yard to go for the Dolphins, trailing 27-24, 3:20 to go in the game. Double tight end offense. And they have the first down. Eddie Hill carries it, number 31. And Teddy upended him. But the Dolphins get the first down.
You know, just looking back through the preseason records, the only time the Miami Dolphins have ever lost to the Lions in a preseason game was in 1972. And Tim, what'd you do in the regular season in 72?
We did okay that year, didn't we?
17-0. 17-0.
I'll still say nobody will ever do it again. First down, Miami on their 26. 2:29 to go. Miami behind by 3. Woodley. That's a forward pass. That's not a fumble. His hand started forward. He was passing. He was hit by Bubba Baker, but his hand had started forward with a pass action. And once that hand starts forward, it is not a fumble. That's just an incomplete pass.
The Detroit Lions are putting the pressure on that time. Elmer Bailey had gotten behind Wayne Smith down the field if David had time to get the ball up.
Second down, 10. Baker's very quick getting into that backfield, isn't he, Tim?
Boy, amazing acceleration.
There's a deep pass to Bailey. Bailey has the ball. Elmer Bailey. And it's a first down. Bailey caught it inside the 35, and they'll blow him dead down on the 33 of Detroit. He had James Hunter blocked off, and Woodley hit him perfectly on the inside.
All right, earlier you saw Hunter had Duriel Harris blocked off to the inside, and the ball was thrown inside, and the Dolphins probably missed 6 points. This time, Hunter's blocked off to the outside, and the ball is thrown inside, and there's a great catch.
So that was a 38-yard pass play. We'll be back here with 2 minutes to go. The 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. It's the Lions 27 and the Dolphins 24.
If you could hear what American drivers say about unleaded gasoline, you'd get quite an earful. Americans wanted an unleaded gas that didn't knock and ping, so that's what Gulf created. New Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. One of the highest octane unleaded gasolines you can buy to help get the most performance out of your car. Now, instead of an earful, Americans can get quite a tankful. New Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts.
At Publix, it's not enough to give you the most for your money.
We want to do more.
That's why our produce buyers search the garden spots of the world to bring you the best of all seasons.
Ripe winter bananas from tropical jungles.
Juicy autumn apples from New England.
Really incredible California spring artichoke.
The best darn cantaloupes in the Wild West.
As well as the year-round taste of sunny Florida.
Fresh Publix produce.
Now you're talking.
CC.
Hey, yeah.
You betcha.
All right, the situation. There are 2 minutes to play. Silver Dome here before 57,000 fans. A sloppy first quarter, a lot of penalties, poor timing. Second quarter, the Lions opened up. They had a 21-7 halftime lead. The Dolphins dominated the third quarter as the Lions fumbled the ball all over the field in their own territory. They had 4 turnovers. They went ahead on an 89-yard drive, and now here are the Dolphins coming back on the Lion 33-yard line. This drive started on the Miami 15. Andre Franklin, the lone setback behind David Woodley. Woodley raising up. The pass in behind Elmer Bailey running down that sideline, and a flag is down. That's something messed up there. I think Don Sewell, the right tackle, may have done some holding.
Holding, number 72.
That's Don Sewell for holding.
Boy, you can pick them out from up here, Kurt. I'd like to remind our viewers that Fantasy Island will be coming up immediately following this telecast, so stay tuned for that. But we still got a minute and 56 seconds left of pretty decent football here. The Dolphins down by 3 points.
Now it is 1st and 20 for Miami.
So what
Johnny Vigorito's in there.
What you have to do here is not get greedy. You got 3 downs to get 20. Don't try and bite off the whole thing, unless they're going to blitz, which it looks like they might.
Trying to get to him. Woodley's pass. Duriel Harris. He was open, and he couldn't get to him. Harris was open. He had Wayne Smith turned around, but they had a big pass rush on Woodley.
It's what Detroit counts on. Detroit counts on the big pressure, the big front four coming in there and getting in their quarterback's face. That time, Duriel Harris was open. Bruce Hardy had a chance of being open. David just didn't have enough time to get it off.
2nd down, 20. Duriel Harris, Elmer Bailey are the wide receivers. So the Dolphin receivers are getting open. But the Lions have quite a pass rush. They had Stan White blitzing that time from his right linebacker spot. 2nd down. Flag is down. I think the Lions are offside. The pass is complete, but I believe the Lions were offside.
I think you're right there, Kurt.
I saw that left end. It may not have been the left end, but somebody ran up there on the left end of the line. Could have been a secondary back and moved quickly, trying to beat the snap.
Well, the Dolphins would probably take the penalty, obviously, to save the down, but they gained about an extra 1.5 yards off of that. Kind of unusual play, too. The ball was tipped, Tim, and still a couple of years ago we would have seen that would not have been allowed. Now, of course, that is a legal reception.
Let's talk about this wide receiver situation in the Dolphins.
Well, I was talking, Kurt, with Nat Moore prior to
on the offense,
tonight's.
A 15-yard penalty on the defense. It's a 5 and 15 rule. We're going to penalize a 15 yards from the previous spot, and it's 1st down.
Well, there you heard it. So a good break for the Dolphins. They'll assess the foul and give the Dolphins a 1st down. So a break for Miami there. A personal foul called against the Detroit Lions. But I was talking with Nat Moore prior to the start of tonight's game, and Nat, in a classy manner, is not too happy with the situation as it is with the wide receivers.
Number 75.
Number 75 is the guilty party for the Lions.
Dave Purifoy. That's a costly one. It could be for him.
I was saying Nat not too happy with a 3 wide receiver setup. He was telling me that he doesn't want to cause any trouble, but if they're going to, he's only going to be playing on once every 2 or 3 downs, working with Cephalo and with Duriel Harris, then it's tough for him to get into the game mentally. Nat has never been one to cause trouble publicly with the club, and certainly does not want to do so now, but he is not happy with the limited playing time and switching the 3 receivers around.
Big break for the Dolphins there. Now the officials come in. Now, they had originally announced all kinds of conversations going around. All right, here we go. After the 15-yard penalty against Dave Purifoy, a roughness call, Miami has a 1st down on the Lions 33, a minute 41 to go, and the Lions ahead 27-24. Vigorito and Ropiski are the running backs. They hold them out. There's the pass, and it is incomplete. Wayne Smith batted that one. It was intended for Duriel Harris. Really intercepted.
Great play by Duriel. What happened there was David Woodley checked off. He saw the blitz coming, checked off. Stan White then checked off the defensive blitz, went to his zone. You see him with their arms up in the air. They're checking off. David tries to get the ball up. He needs to get it a little bit farther outside, and Durio comes back here and breaks it up. Could have been an interception.
Wayne Smith had stepped right in front of him.
They're playing poker out there.
Second down, 10. Dolphins on the Lion 33, a minute 34 seconds to go. Dolphins behind by 3. Big rush on him. The pass.
Got it.
Complete. Vigorito has it on the 9-yard line. Vigorito, outstanding tonight, coming out of the backfield, catching the ball with intense concentration.
Boy, he does have great concentration because he kind of got turned around on that ball, Tim.
Look at those Lions gaming up there. They're trying to get pressure, and Woodley's under pressure, gets the ball up. A dangerous throw. Great concentration by Tommy Vigorito because he knows he's going to get popped. He does, but holds on.
He may have nearly 100 yards in pass receptions tonight. We have a timeout by the Dolphins. A minute 23 remaining. They have the...
And let the pass go. Nice pass to Vigorito.
How's this for a rookie tonight? Vigorito of Virginia, a number 5 draft pick, has caught 5 for 95 yards, 136 for a touchdown.
That won't hurt you, will it, Tim?
For a halfback, averaging, I tell you what, a halfback coming out of the backfield is one of the hardest people there is to cover. You don't have the help from the sidelines, and what he's been doing it, instead of running out toward the sidelines, the Dolphins obviously felt that they could attack the Detroit zone and the Detroit secondary upfield with that running back, and it's worked for him well.
Well, the last time the Lions had the ball, they had not been in Miami territory. They went 89 yards for a score, engineered by Jeff Comlow to take the lead. Now, Miami's come back from their own 15 on this drive, and they have now moved 35 and 41, 76 yards on this drive.
Okay, now here you go. You got a minute 28, first and 10 on the 9-yard line, first and 9 on the 9. You take the chance, throw it into the end zone, or you settle for a field goal. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try and score a touchdown in the first couple plays.
Me too.
Somehow, maybe not passing. First and goal to go. Look out. Get back there, Purifoy. They run the ball, and it's to the 5-yard line. Vigorito carried. Stan White, Ken Fantetti ganged it up on him. Fantetti 57, White 52. Miami's called another timeout.
David Woodley has got to watch the 30-second clock here. He changed the play twice this time. As the defense adjusted to his first change, he changed again. If you get too caught up in that play changing, the clock catches you.
It is now second down, 5 to go for a Miami touchdown. A minute and 17 seconds to play. Miami's down to 1 timeout.
You think that...
We'll join Fantasy Island in progress right after we have the end of this game, so stay with us. The Lions have 2 timeouts. They're talking to his quarterback, Woodley, 16. Strock's there, number 10.
But you know who else is involved in that conversation there over the phones? They got Bob Greasy and Wally English up in the booth. They're talking about it too, I'll guarantee you.
Here's meeting